Well, let's do a high five before we. No, you got to go backwards. You got to get over to where my hand is. Fool! What's wrong with your brain?
I'm not good. Oh my God! I can never do the weather.
Hope we have a good. Hope we have a good podcast.
Good one. Hey, wow, sweet.
Jeez, I'm sorry I have giant hands. I apologize.
No, mine are bigger. Look. If you ever take a picture of your wiener, really put it right in the camera like that. You like that? And then it looks normal size.
Well, I just want to bet with Heather that you would say wiener
immediately.
Minute. Heather, you owe me.
No, listen, I have bigger fish to fry. I'm going to start off with a story. I
want to hear your story. And you know what? I'm not going to try to sabotage you by interrupting you constantly.
Okay. I'll interrupt yours, though. Okay, ready?
Yeah. All right.
Here's what happened.
All right.
I have a roller on the ground like this for like my neck. So I was laying on it in the middle of the day for no reason, just to open up the excruciating pain I'm constantly in, even though people in the comments feel free to poke at me. It's fine. You know, I'm used to it. I'm like Rudy, you know, I take it. So here I am, laying there like this. And then a housekeeper that has been here for years comes in and she said, David, do you wear a sleep mask at night? And I said, no. Why'd you find one? She goes, no, but do you wear pads on your eyes or something when you sleep? And I go, no. Where's she going with this? You will never know. Because she goes,
I know.
Because I saw you on Jimmy Fallon and you look so puffy and your eyes are such big bags. I thought, oh my God, what's going on? What did you say to me? Why would you jump to that from that? Why would I even connect that? And I go, no, I was fine. And then she goes, oh, I just thought, oh, maybe you drank all night. Maybe you stayed up all night, or maybe you haven't gone to bed in weeks. I go, no, I didn't.
You're not exaggerating?
I'm not really exaggerating. And I go, no, I didn't really do anything. I had dinner with Nate and I went to bed. And she goes, oh. And then it's not over. We walk outside because it's kind of dim in my room. And we get in the light hallway and she goes, oh, there they are again. What?
What are they? The bags?
Like it's, like a magic trick. Oh, hey. Like she went like that, pulled them up. I go, yeah, they're always here. And she goes, oh. And then she's like, I'll mind my own business now. But then all day I'm like this.
Well, that literally, we had Larry David on a couple of weeks ago on our sister podcast. And that literally could be a Curb episode. The overfamiliar housekeeper is very personal. Yeah. Are you going to wear those jeans? We had one who spoke mostly Spanish. I don't know if your housekeeper.
Yeah, she can do both.
In California.
She can't?
No.
She can't.
She can't.
Well,
quick fix.
I visited you a lot over there, and I'd run into the hallway and stuff, and she'd go, "Huh? Do you put a nice cold compress on underneath your eyes because you don't have anything going on?"
No. She says, "Is Dana okay?" And I go, "Why?" She goes, "Just want to know if he's okay because I just took a glance and it's probably not my business." I go, "Oh, it's 100% not." And she goes, "I just wonder because his hair is a little frizzy today."
Well, maybe she's lost her calling. She should be a life coach.
No, sometimes she goes like this. Your shirt is a little wrinkly, but this is what you wore and you picked to wear? And I go, She goes, okay.
Well, I'm kind of disorganized. You may have noticed. And,
well, your house looks like a mess behind you.
Well, yeah, I know this. Well, I'm under house arrest, so this is
honestly,
obviously, I'm wearing an ankle thing. I can't leave this room. I mean, no one would try to. The thing about this, though, some people said, "Oh, it's not good to have a door," but I feel like it's kind of like tension. Like, is something going to come through that door?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's thinking that in the comments.
But sometimes when I was foolish, I had a little extra shekels in my pocket, and I'd go to the ATM.
Beans in my jeans.
I didn't really. A lot of times, my pants would go into the laundry with lots of 20s and 10s in the pocket.
Thousands.
And then they go through the dryer. And then so I'd go down there and she's incredibly sweet, totally honest. She would line them up on top of the dryer, like all these dollar bills or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
You want to know weirder, Spade? When I was probably 11 or 12, I would get all my money, obviously bored. Dad's gone. What do I do? So I would take the spritzer from the iron and I'd go on them, and then I would iron them, and I'd spray a little water on them, iron them flat. I like them nice and crispy. And then if that wasn't weird enough, by the way, should have been an insane asylum. Then I'd go to the top of the stairs and I'd let them go, and they go all the way to the front door. Is that crazy? And Brian would walk in, grab one.
Yeah, I was a busboy, and I'd get paid, maybe $10. So they just came out crinkly, and I'd just throw them in a basket. And everyone thought I had a lot of money, but it was all ones. It was like $60. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
do you want to hear about my travel?
Yeah, let's hear about your travel while we got it.
I'll just go through them. Here we go. Going to Chicago with my wife. So we go to the airport because we have our cars. Chicago. What's the real pronunciation?
I think you said Chicago instead of Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah. I call it Chicago. Okay. So we get to the airport, we're getting a little late, and we go round and round and round and round and round in the parking garage. She's following me. Long story short, there's no parking unless you park where electric cars could park. Now
Is this LAX? I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. You're on your way there. Okay.
We drove there, and then we went into the parking garage next to United, and every single thing was taken except there were some open if you had an electric car. Now I have a hybrid. My wife has a regular car, just a dirty car, a Volvo. But so we just decided we're going to park, and it said $250 minimum a day. So we thought we'd come back either with them towed or like a $5,000 bill, but they were left. So anyway, that was the first.
Wait, $250
minimum fine a day.
Oh, fine.
If
hybrid, I would count in my head.
Yeah. So I don't really understand those because you plug them in, they go away for a week and they're still plugged in. I mean, so I didn't really get how they.
It takes that long to charge one.
So that was a little stressful. Now this has never happened before. Okay. We go through the security. I know people have security jokes. I go through. I look back. There's the little cartoon person, and it's got a big red block over my crotch, just a big red square. My wife comes through behind me, same thing, big red square. We have two people in front of us kind of going, they asked me, would you like to go to a private room for a pat down? I said, no, I'm married. So I said, no. And they asked my wife too. We don't. We just thought it was funny. I don't want to exaggerate for comic purposes. I think it was a 6 to 7 minute pat down. You had to turn away, put one foot forward and crouch down. Then they're up underneath. There's nothing grabbing, grinding, looking. There were people who kind of thought I was your friend from Fly on the Wall. And there's a little crowd gathering. They're patting. Then they come to the front. Boom, 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 grab, boom, boom. So that was kind of exciting. At the same time, it's happening to my wife. So the both of us are just doing this groping dance. And this shocked me. As I'm leaving, the guy who patted me down lit up a cigarette. I go, dude, it's an airport.
Did you know what you should have said? Can I just pat down my wife? And we'll let you know what happens. Because what was the big square in your crotch? What do you think?
What do you think? We were hiding a gun in our pants or an explosive device? I mean, we don't look like that. I mean, I did say it to him at the end, because I get a little passive aggressive sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
I said, because I felt there was one grope that was for him.
One too many.
There was one squeeze.
One for the team?
Yeah, one for him. It was a little bit. So I said, are you happy? I said, I wasn't Leon. I go, are you happy?
You gave him that one?
And he goes, he kind of nodded. And then I high-fived his blue glove. Yeah. And then I smelled it.
He goes, sometimes the house wins.
I didn't do that.
They got to grab your balls. Yeah, I haven't. Remember I told you, Dana, they go like this. Back. I'm going to go to your crotchal area.
Yeah, the back of the hand.
You want the back of the hand? I go, let's go front.
Oh, you just give them everything.
Yeah, I go, let's have some fun. Come on.
Okay. So this part is not an exaggeration either. So we fly to Chicago. We're coming in.
Chicago now.
St. Louis had a tornado and blew up a dust storm. So as we're flying, we made all the news. We see it in the distance from the plane. It's 100 miles wide and 20 miles tall of dust. It envelops Chicago. There's tornadoes and thunderstorms and 60-mile-an-hour gusts. So the guy's like, we're going to have you ground in a minute. We've got a dust storm, tornadoes, thunderstorms, winds out of the southwest that's gusting to 70 miles an hour. We have the ground in just a minute. So when we were coming into Chicago, we couldn't even see it. It was so covered with dirt, and it was
weird.
It was a little light chop. You wouldn't have liked it.
A little dirty air, literally.
Little dirty air.
I will add in this part of your story. Dana does not love flying, and you add in all this chaos. What was Paula doing?
Paula is the opposite of me. She is so relaxed. Like, because on the way back to LAX, we're coming in, the gear's down. All of a sudden, the gear comes up. We're like 40 seconds from landing, and the guy does a steep left bank.
Wait, he does? He gives up on it?
Yeah. He goes, I go, oh, we just screwed the pooch. We got to go around. Then he comes on and goes, there was a plane that was on the runway, so we're going to go around. Probably take us about 15 minutes to get back in line. We'll get back to you.
To do a U-turn? Jesus.
Well, there's planes, and so then 2 minutes later, he takes a steep dive with the gear coming down. Clearly, the tower said, if you do this, you can go in. And then we made a really hard landing. I had someone on the aisle behind me who said it was their first flight.
Oh, I'd shit a brick.
She goes, I don't like this. I've gotten much better than I've been because I've been flying so much. I'm kind of like, fuck it. But my wife's more like, hey, and I use this too. In World War II, they were flying and getting shot at. I mean, what are we? We're such babies. Anyway,
I mean, we are babies because it's definitely, they pretty much all land. It's very upsetting and it scares you and tightens up your stomach, and you land a little rocked, you're a little dizzy,
Well, it's like I always say, if you surf the web for an hour, go on Daily Mail or whatever, you're hypnotized into darkness. So when you're reading all the time, your brain feels like planes are crashing about every 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's boom. So that's where the fear comes up.
Well, that Newark airport thing doesn't really help relax you.
I probably avoid it till they get it figured out. Call me crazy.
Dana, I'm a litlittle bit of a spendy Susie. If you know what I mean.
A boozy Susie and a spendy Susie.
Yeah, I'm more of a boozy Susie, but yeah,
you are a spendy spender. Yeah,
and a lot of our listeners are nice enough to write in and say you look like you drank a lot and slept on your face, but that's just constructive criticism.
Well, it's very concise, and you don't really drink very much. I'll tell the fans, but
just puffy. This is where Klarna comes in. Klarna is your everyday smarter spending partner, which is what a lot of people need. A lot of my friends definitely need it. It allows you to make smarter decisions with your money, and it's sometimes good to have a partner like that.
And I'll say it again, Klarna, which I assume is Swedish. Klarna is your smarter everyday spending partner.
Shoppers can use Klarna's Pay in 4 product to split their purchase into 4 interest-free payments.
That's right. Here's some key takeaways. Listen up, brother. Klarna offers a Pay in 4 product where you don't have to pay interest. I think that's a good thing.
You can pay with Klarna at merchant checkout, in the Klarna app, or with the Klarna card.
You can also compare prices at your favorite stores and earn cash back when you shop in the app.
They're making it effortless for in-app shoppers to get more value from every purchase. So choose Klarna at your favorite retailers or shop now at Klarna.com. CA resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190.
Klarna, balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply.
They do.
I'm just going to say it. It's a Klarna summer.
In a fun story, my mom saw Tom Jones in Arizona. Where did she go? The Arizona Financial Center? Dude, Tom Jones I think it's a 5,000 seater for Tom Jones. Wow. I knew he's a big star, but he's raking him in, and they really took care of my mom. They gave her she had a knee operations. Yeah? They gave her a box, moved her into a box. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
Sweet. I want to thank
love your
them.
Mom.
She just got her knee replaced.
Maybe I'll go to Arizona and just hang out with her. I'll go, I'm surrogate Dave. We're around the same size.
I said, why'd you get your knee replaced? She goes, it wasn't that bad, but I want to fight Dana. So I want to have it as strong as possible. I was like, ooh, why? She didn't even tell me why.
By the way, just did this for a second. Tom Jones is my wife's, might be her favorite.
Oh, really?
Now, he's had a renaissance. He's been on these talent shows, and he's somebody who just has not lost his voice. And he sings like Pavarotti, but as a rock star. So if young people are listening, just YouTube, Tom Jones.
The funniest thing is my mom is so stoked, and she's waiting. It was last Tuesday. And I went to Las Vegas to that gig, and I had lunch with Nikki, and I look over his shoulder. It says Tom Jones playing here tonight. I was over at the Wynn. He was playing there.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I would have seen him if I wasn't doing a show. And then I thought, if I see him, I'm going to go, my mom is coming to this. Oh, I would have said that.
Well, I saw him once, quick story here, at Harrah's, I think in Tahoe. And his pants were incredibly skin tight. I mean, they weren't even pants. So it was like, and then he would turn around for a drink of water, and that you'd hear a lot of the women scream. And then he would turn back and say, literally, I see we have some fanny watchers tonight.
Boy.
Every time he turned around, they would scream, I see the fanny watchers are still pleased.
And then he turns on and goes, I see some weenie watchers are here. And Dana goes, now, he puts his wiener on the outside of his pants. He goes, they're too tight. I got to put it on the outside.
He was famously gifted downstairs. And I guess famously Milton Berle had the same problem or dilemma or whatever, and came to him and wanted to show him. And so this Tom Jones told the story. And then Tom Jones said, yes, he had me beat. But I turned around and I heard a little sound, and I knew he was a fanny watcher.
Fanny watcher. Yeah. You know what? I didn't even check with my mom if she's a fanny watcher. I did not even, ask her ahead of time.
Well, does she find, because he was
she loves him.
Full-blown sex symbol in the 60s with women throwing things and all that.
Her favorites are Elvis, then Willie, and then Tom Jones. We went and saw Willie once together. It was great. And now Tom Jones.
And what about Engelbert Humperdinck?
You know what? Last night I looked up Tom Jones on YouTube, no joke, because I wanted to hear Green Grass of Home, Tearjerker, and Delilah. And it was an old video of like the old cool 70s shows where it's like a weird kind of bright set. And he's in a Engelbert singing, who looks like Brad Pitt. And Brad could easily play him in a movie. He looked exactly like him in this clip. Yeah. And then Tom interrupts him. And then they start singing each other's songs, like that old, innocent, kind of cool. They both have tuxes on. They start taking them.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they're great. They're both great.
No. Okay.
Boring, that stuff. Lastly, I would say, before we get to the stuff, the Cannes Film Festival's on. One thing is that all the people that showed up that were, in a little bit of hot water, we'll say. But I just saw the list of James Franco, Ezra Miller, Kevin Spacey, Shia LaBeouf. So they're all there on the carpet doing different things.
Wow, that's an interesting game.
Isn't it interesting? Like maybe they've served their time in jail, of career jail. It's always like a varied time of how long, but are you ever allowed to work again? Are you not? How rough was the crime you did? It's such an interesting thing of like, they're all there, but it's not even America, it's France. So are they grading it on a curve? I don't know.
I know. I mean, it's like, are you convicted in a court of law or not is one bar.
Yeah.
And the other is just,
public opinion,
misunderstanding or whatever, or they, but yeah, I think the canceling thing is tamped down a little bit. We can't like whack-a-mole. Hey,
I actually saw Shia LaBeouf, who I think is kind of cool in the movies.
He's a great actor, man. Yeah.
He was walking down somewhere. It's kind of like, let's say you're at the airport and you're walking, you see a bunch of people that know you. So they're following him and they want him to sign stuff. And I see him, he's getting more and more pissed, but he was very cool about it. I think he's self-aware enough to go, these guys are all in my face. And then the second he takes one photo, like if people are walking behind him, he goes, yeah, take a photo. And then they all get in front of him to block him so they can get one. Tries to walk again. No, just sign this one thing for my nephew. And then, but he was very cool because they were really like yelling at him and people get mad and he had to keep moving. So I give him that. He didn't flip out.
Yeah. I mean,
it's hard not to.
it's hard not to, because it's a big country, and sometimes it's just 15 or 20 people who are not. It used to be in the old days, gee, Mr. Clark Gable, could I get your autograph? And now it's a monetary thing, I guess. And so it's aggressive, and sometimes feels a little scary.
Yeah, it used to be all fans. Now it's not really fans, just people that fake fans that say sign this, or quit being an asshole.
Sign. Yep.
And then you don't sign one and they hate you. And then they go, sign everywhere you sign, please.
You can't win.
Also, I don't love hearing about these standing ovations. Maybe I'm cynical, Dana. But 11 minutes, 9 minutes, these people have nowhere to go. Who can clap their hands in the Guinness Book of World Records for more than like 30 seconds? 10 minutes.
It's become a thing. So
unreal.
There was one director who was outside, and he was looking down, and tears coming down his eyes. And they asked him what happened. He goes, "We only got the 6 minute standing ovation."
Yeah,
that's just like nothing.
That's literally zero.
I think they've done an hour, haven't they?
Yeah, that's a bomb. I think I would say start the standing ovation in the last 20 minutes of my movie when I play mine, and then just so it'll wrap up by the time the movie's over.
I want to be, if Busboys does have a premiere, I'm going to be there.
It'll definitely be in France, yeah.
And I'm going to lead the applause. Maybe it'll just be at some kind of local, whatever, Busby's theater and
listen,
popcorn.
I've heard the word Oscar bait with Busboys, just on rough cuts.
I think that there's no bigger compliment. I mean, the 20-minute standing ovation, but there's no bigger compliment than reviews of actors, people who pretend in front of an electronic lens. Daniel Day-Lewis's performance as Abraham Lincoln is nothing short of a miracle.
It's miraculous.
Yeah, David Spade is a revelation as busboy number 2.
As Marky the Busboy. He's exquisite.
He will reorientate the Earth's axis as it revolves around the sun. David Spade is a miracle as Busboy Billy.
Instead, it'll be like, David Spade struggled. It seemed to get to the end of the movie in this.
David Spade puts the phone in, phoning it in as he coasts his way through Busboys.
He unbelievably took out a rotary phone. That's how slow his performance was.
David Spade looks lost. And
David Spade is in a different movie than Theo Von. What's happening? Does anyone understand this movie? Did they play it backwards? What's going on?
Yeah. If I could understand it, I'd give it a rating. But for this...
I couldn't get through the poster.
This Cub reporter has to say, it's a stinker.
This Cub reporter... I've never seen a movie before, and this is what I start with.
They had the camera set up. Surely people were talking and moving about, but the whole thing is like a fever dream. I don't remember 1 second of
it was a
Boys.
One long run-on sentence.
It might have had one laugh, but I fell asleep too long to know if there were more laughs. Hi, I'm a Cub reporter for movies.com/fly.
I sat in the audience, and in an hour and a half, I heard one twitter and one chortle.
Here's my
titter.
Here's my slow motion act out of the premiere of an audience. The audience.
Okay. Good dish. Wagaboosh. The best in the world.
I hadn't done that before. Good assist on David Spade and Dana Carvey's act out of happy audience member is a tag team extravaganza. One doing sound effects and one pretending to be in slow motion. Okay.
All right. Before we get to some stuff, I'll say thanks for watching the Amazon special. It's doing well. And if you want to go on my TikTok, I put up one of my ET jokes, which is gives you a little taste.
And remember,
E.T., the
everybody,
newest
these
movie
things
I
are
talk
released
about.
on social media. It's a huge universe. So Dandelion is just there like a book on a bookshelf. So that's why we mention it in the ensuing weeks after the premiere. Dandelion,
you can
Amazon
pop in
Prime.
and go watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pop in.
All right, let's look at some stories.
Okay,
what's going on?
Let's do it.
And we'll keep it snug. We're moving right along.
Let's snug it up a little bit. We're good.
Hey, when investing your money starts to feel like a second job, Betterment steps in with a little work-life balance. It's the automated investing and savings app that handles the work so you don't have to. While they build and manage your portfolio, you build and manage your weekend plans. While they make it easy to invest for what matters, you just get to enjoy what matters. Dana?
Their automated tools simplify the complex and put your money to work, optimizing day after day and again. So go ahead, take your time to rest and recharge, because while your money doesn't need a work-life balance, you do. Make your money hustle with Betterment. Get started at betterment.com. That's BETTERMENT.com. Investing involves a risk. Performance not guaranteed.
What a dumb story.
Here,
I hate
we're
it
looking
already.
at a big red ball on top of Central Park. If you were to combine all 8 billion people on Earth into a giant meatball, it would fit in Central Park.
That's kind of shocking. I would have thought way bigger.
Well, they're saying 8 billion. Let's say the average human, you have got kids and stuff and aboriginals. I mean, maybe the average person is 100 pounds times 8 billion, Heather. It's 1 trillion pounds, and you can fit it in a Central Park.
Who asked AI this one? Yeah, I think 100 pounds, that's what Heather is. But how about the rest of the world that averages like 220? And we're in America, don't forget. So we're not exactly the WAIF model capital of the world.
What are we supposed to take away from that? Eat more, become bigger people, or be proud that we can fit into Central Park? What's our emotional takeaway?
I think it's, did you think it would be bigger or smaller? And is everyone going like this, or is everyone going like this? If they're going like this, it's bigger.
Well, what was the Grand Canyon? And everyone peed in the Grand Canyon? And it would
they could not fill it up. They could not fill it up.
Is this all AI or just freaks in a basement?
These are all questions that everyone's asking.
Shut up, Brian. It'd be 8 billion. It'd fit like a meatball. Shut up.
How much meat is in that? Or is it all just people? Do you put meat between the people to round it out?
I don't know. Did you ever see Soylent Green?
Soylent Green is
people. Soylent Green is people. No, it was with Charlton Heston.
Soylent Green. Yeah, I did see it. It scared me.
Dead for thousands of years. The late great Phil Hartman did the best Chuck Heston. Man. Yeah.
Okay, next one.
All right, next.
This is interesting. OpenAI co-founder wanted to build Doomsday Bunker to protect scientists because he thinks if AI takes over, the guy that knows the most about it is terrifying. He's like, I'm scared. Let's build a bunker while we're developing AI because we might have to hide. AI will fucking find you in 2 seconds. What are they thinking? If AI's after you.
There are people that go, it's going to help mankind. You don't know. And then there are people who really think humans will not be the only, we will be obsolete and maybe sort of we must be eliminated. There's been so many movies from the 50s, and there also was a Star Trek episode about this with William Shatner. Remember Nomad, I think it was called, or whatever. It was just this metal thing. It was like 10 feet tall, and it would just wander around the universe and destroy civilizations. And it did it for 1 trillion years until it ran into the logic of James T. Kirk. So it's like, I am nomad. I must destroy imperfection. But you yourself are imperfect. All they had to do was say that. I'm imperfect, and exploded. A billion years it destroyed universes. It took Bill Shatner 20 seconds to wipe him out.
Have you seen some of those?
Don't know what you're doing.
Thought that was over.
Can't believe you want to destroy. Sorry, go ahead.
You're a little piece of tinfoil.
You must destroy all life, but you are part of that life.
You are really being a bummer.
No wonder William Shatner. I don't know how he didn't just pull his neck out or something or hurt his back. You can't believe what you say. You believe it's not my best impression. We need to get Kevin Pollak in here.
You're pretty good,
but it's a fun impression. So
anyway. Also, I saw some Elon Musk robots, and they're really like putting on the Ritz. Like they're not just like They're like They're almost doing fucking Billie Jean out there, and you go, it's getting too fast.
Well, think of it this way, David, if I may. Think of the Wright brothers on a basic homemade glider going 120 feet. Then 50 years later, 60 years later, you've got 500 silly monkeys 10 miles in the sky going across the ocean. We're going to make a leap in AI, from a glider to a 747. So you don't know what's coming. I know you're scared. Here's my quick new impression of you about AI. Quick impression. What's going on? I don't understand. What are we supposed to do? And what's going to happen?
You can't see below peeing my pants.
Of joy or fear?
Fear.
Okay, kind of like the guy at the airport.
So planes went from Kitty Hawk to Newark.
To Newark, yes.
It's falling apart.
AI. Well, look, what we'll do to be ahead of ourselves soon, because Google AI came out and they're making movies that are totally accurate. What we're going to do is we're going to ask AI to make a podcast with digital copies of us and then see if it's better than what we actually do.
It will be, Dana. I'm scared it will be so much better. And then come on
at the end and go, well, sorry. Or we make tons of podcasts and sit back and collect cash.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I think all the comments will be, that was a perfect show. And I'll be like, well, that was the AI one. They're like, oh, get back to that dog shit you normally do. We like that.
Guess what's possible with AI and robo-taxis, Waymos all over the place? Somebody could buy 10 robo-taxis. Might cost them 100, 200 grand or something.
I'll do it.
And then the robo-taxis can monetize 24/7. I guess they just have to recharge themselves. But while you sleep, I
can safely say, what do you hate money? Are you not going to do that? Or do you like money?
Was it possible that I have robo-taxis working for me right now?
Right now.
Whoops, sorry.
Run your brand.
Sometimes the future arrives sooner than you think.
Welcome to a money
room
machine.
I can afford and the jean jacket I stole from the photo shoot.
There better be a pile of money behind that wooden balsa door.
Well, you go every day. You're trying to find out what you're going to wear. I put on my uniform and you're like pink today, maybe a gray hooded hoodie.
No, the problem is the people at home don't know this. I reluctantly relinquished black t-shirt to Dana. So Dana loves black t-shirt. We all do. But I always think, okay, if he's wearing a black t-shirt, I have to wear one of my frilly little numbers because he's cornered that market. So this one's purple. I didn't go black because everyone goes, are you the same person? Can you tell it's purple? It's kind of dark.
Well, I won't. Just FYI to our audience, I may spiff up this a little bit.
Whoa!
I could put something behind me.
Oh yeah, we got some stuff coming. So
so we'll see. I mean, don't panic or don't throw a party, but just know that there's possibilities. I like Where's Waldo. I like when I was in the New York hotel, or when I'm at the hotel down in LA, or I'm at a farm. You never know. It's where is he?
Where's Dana?
They always know where you are.
Yeah. Because they can hear the construction out front. Beep, beep. Brr-how, brr-how. Oh, I might get a funny thing I'm going to bring on this. Only for you, and it's a write-off. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to say one thing.
What?
I'm not say one thing.
You're not telling me what you're thinking?
No, I will. I'll do it, and I'll bring it, and then you'll be like, oh, okay. But I got to order it.
Oh.
I'll charge it to Odyssey. Look at my nose. It's so bendy. Look at that. It's so weird.
Yeah, I know. I just got a text from, hi, it's David's housekeeper. His nose is also very bendy. What the fuck?
She goes, you ever going to get rid of that dent in your nose up there? And I go, why should I? She goes, maybe it's just the lighting in here, but it really sticks out like a sundial. I go, okay, well, are the
So anyway, I had an MRI yesterday that I actually enjoyed, and I think I fell asleep just for like a hip thing. But I was in there for 45 minutes in the tube, and they are funny because right in front of you is two bolts and a little open slit, so it looks like an AI face, kind of
looks like a face.
It's like, and then it just I don't know, people, you've been in one recently. It's like, no, but it starts out right. And it's quiet, and then it's like, and then it's finally, it's like,
it's crazy.
And then it goes silent for like 15. Well, only one time that I almost tried to sit up, but they had me strapped in. It's like, and then it stopped. 15 seconds. I'm like,
yeah. It's so hard to like, if you do it for your head, or I've done it for my neck, obviously, but you're in there like this. The guy's like, "Are you okay in there? Are you freaking out?" And I go, because you have to go in like this, and it's so tight. You get to about here, and you go, they go, "You might have an anxiety attack. Are you okay? You want to?"
Are you claustrophobic? No. Yeah, they ask.
Well, I not really, but then when you're like this, I'm like, I guess you have to be, and then you get like this. Then he goes, "All right, we're going to start here." And I go, "Okay." He goes, "So you're going to hear some noises," and it goes like this. It goes bung, bung, like you said.
Yeah.
And then it goes. Kang, kang, kang.
Oh,
you're like, you can't even hear anything. It's maddening for 45 minutes.
Because of the tube and the way I went in and those sounds and the guy doing that. Are you okay in there? I felt like I was in, I thought I was in 2001, I mean, I felt like I was inside that movie somehow. And so I kind of enjoyed it, but they put earphones. Here's what they did. It sounds like a bit. They put earplugs and then big ear canceling on top, and then started talking to me. And all I just looked at him, was like,
yeah.
And I go, I can't hear one word you're saying.
Mine were I could still hear him. It goes bang, bang. Then there's a 10-second silence, and he goes, "Think your guy's going to do another Grown Ups?" I go, "What's that?"
It's funny. I thought if you weren't going for that, then I was going to go for
get that.
So what was up with the Turtle Man and Master of Disguise?
Yeah. Why wasn't Dana at the reunion?
What's up with Spade's hair today? What do you mean hair today? I'm in an MRI machine. MRI.
David, did you get the message I gave your housekeeper about your baggy eyes?
Is there any way I could get an advance copy of Busboys?
David, if I don't have Amazon Prime, can you send me a link?
Why does yours sound so metallical?
It's funny. I don't know why it's funny.
What was with Church Lady and what Spade came in and did Hunter Biden? What was that about?
If you don't go to the 60th anniversary, will you let Spade borrow your Church Lady wig?
Would Spade fit in that wig, or would you need a refit?
Yours still sounds like it too. I like it. Mine's got a big squishy thing on it though.
No, I took this off for a more metallic sound.
Okay, go ahead.
So what's up with Spade? No, seriously. And meanwhile, the background noise. But I did say, can you slow down the noise?
Also, in a side story, we found a huge lump or some sort of foreign object in your body. I think someone left a scalpel there when you got your hernia last time. Anyway, so what's going on with bench warmers?
Can you slow down the noises?
Hey, I have two more questions about Dana, so I turned the machine off for a while. I go, no, keep it going. I want to keep this. I want to finish the MRI. No, it's too loud. Anyway, what else is happening?
Since my hands are like this, can you mind if I play a little blues harp? Wow, what do you want?
Last question from my nurse. Are you too old to have a TikTok?
That's a good one.
Simple yes or no.
Oh, sometimes our job cracks me up.
Right. we could end on that if you want.
Yeah, I think it was funny.
Yeah, it was good.
I think it was a nice tight episode for our fans.
I'm really proud of us.
Yeah. And
that should be our name for our podcast. I'm proud of us. We're proud of us.
Yeah, we don't have what other people have, but we've got hope.
We got us,
and we got high hopes. Mm-hmm. Next week, I want to talk about why the movement to hate baby boomers. There's a lot of people talking about boomers.
We'll go deep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We haven't had anybody on for a while. Maybe we'll get somebody on.
Yeah, maybe get Tim Dillon to talk about that. He's pretty funny about it.
It's funny. He hates. We can get him to hate anything.
He's got some good hot takes.
Funny. He was on CNN the other day, and he's just ripping on everything. It's so funny.
That is entertaining.
Okay, thanks for coming, Dana. Thanks for coming by my podcast. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Just for a second, you've been on Dana Carvey Superfly with my guest today, David Spade.
With David Spade.
With David Spade.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Superfly is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, Heather Santoro, and Greg Holtzman. Hope you liked it. Ooh.
Hello there, everybody. This is Dana solo. It's a little scary. My partner in crime, David Spade, is flying right now. He's flying to Singapore today to do a corporate date. No, I made that up. But anyway, I'll give you a little taste of him if you miss him. Blue. Everybody's like, wah, 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 wah. Anyway, that's my David Spade. Our guest today, when David is on the interview, was really a blast. We put him in one of our favorites, Ike Barinholtz, who was on Mad TV for like 7 years, I think, did all these characters. He's got a big resume, The Mindy Project, and currently Running Point on Netflix with Kate Hudson, Chet Hanks, that's pretty cool, Justin Theroux. So we go through all those shows. We go through his career. He has a Nepo dad. You'll find out about that. And he is sort of a brainiac. He's won Celebrity Jeopardy and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and raised literally millions for charity. So very fun, a hard laugher, came to play. So I think this one will cheer you up for sure. Ike Barinholtz, everybody.
I can't wait for the 50th anniversary of this podcast.
I skipped the SNL 50th, man. Had something to do.
Wait, were you? I was wondering, you must have had the flu or something.
Yeah, I had the flu that was lingering. So I was kind of, by the day of the show, I felt great, but I was 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I had to make the call, I was like, I don't have the oomph and,
Yeah, no.
If he doesn't have the oomph, we don't want him.
Marcy, look up oomph. No, it's a Scandinavian word for laissez-faire, I believe.
For laissez-faire.
Did you audition for SNL? We don't have any outline, but you have a lot to talk about. So
I did not audition for SNL in 1998. I remember people from NBC came to Improv Olympic to watch. To scout. And I remember
that.
Oh my God. And it was the worst too, because the owner, God bless her, Sharna, she invited 50 of us to go on stage at once. So everyone was you're pushing people aside to
Subway
do a
scene.
character. Yeah.
Trying to stage, how sickening.
Yeah, it was just reprehensible. But so then I moved to Amsterdam for a couple of years, and then when I came back, I was like, I want to do SNL. But before SNL, I even auditioned. I got cast on Mad TV, and so I was kind of there.
Basically the same thing. So you're on doing sketches, and you stayed there a long time, though, right? Are you one of the longest?
I was there. No.
There's different versions online, by the way. The last one I got before this was 2002 to 2007.
That's right. That is accurate.
There was others 2009 to 2000. There's.
It's a very important information, so it's natural. There's going to be discrepancies online about it.
Mine says 1886 to. It's got to be wrong.
Oh man, I did an amazing impression of Rutherford B. Hayes that really got me cast on it.
That guy gets literally no press.
I do him too, by the way. I've done him. You
did Rutherford Hayes.
Give me a second.
Not now. We need a Rothschild.
I'm Ruther P. Hayes.
Ruther P.
President of this here United States. I don't say it's accurate, but
you can't fight it.
It's the stab. I'm Rutherford. So were you like, did that disappoint you at all that you weren't on SNL, or you were just glad to be on a sketch show every week and paid?
My dream was to always be on SNL. We grew up in a very SNL heavy home. Like some of my earliest memories are watching like Eddie Murphy, the 83 year with like Billy Crystal and stuff.
Yeah.
We were obsessed with it in our house. And when you're in the comedy scene, especially the improv scene in Chicago in the 90s, that's your goal. But listen, man, I was bussing tables at Morton's on La Cienega, and
I know the restaurant.
I've been there so
the restaurant. It's no longer there, sadly.
Busboy.
I was a
busboy. We've all been busboys.
The hardest job in the world, bussing tables. It's so hard, especially there because there's like so many famous people, and you're like kind of like starstruck. Like one time I saw Pete Rose there, and I was so excited, and I walked past him, and he grabbed my arm. And he goes, "Hey, give my wife a Diet Coke. Get out of here." And I was like, "Oh, okay.
Get out of here that fast." Jesus.
And you said, hey, Pete, I just won $20. I promise that guy you would say, "Get my wife a Diet Coke."
I bet you can't finish that ribeye, Charlie.
Oh boy.
But it was to get an offer to be on a TV show, especially a sketch comedy show, was just a dream. So I was just kind of like, great, let's do it. And there was really great writers there, some great
a lot of great people came out of it. You were with Bobby Lee around then too? He's funny. I see him.
Oh, my friend. I know you're friends with Bobby. You've been friends with Bobby for a very long time.
We're business acquaintances, yes.
And Josh Myers, Zeth's
the great
brother,
Josh
right?
Myers.
Yeah,
Josh Myers and Michael McDonald was still there. Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key came while we were there. Nicole Parker.
You did have a big fat cast at that time.
Yeah, we had a big fat cast.
Dude, I like that when I look at your impressions. When does Bo Bice impression come up these days? Not as much as before.
Yeah, you have some quirky impressions. Can we get the off-label obscure
Carrie Underwood, right? Is that him?
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Bo Bice. Oh my God. I mean, I'm still doing it a lot, obviously. I shouldn't say this, but I feel like Bo Bice, if you told me he stormed the Capitol, I'd be like, yeah.
Bo was just typecast.
But yeah, Mad TV definitely did a lot of impressions of the moment.
Of course.
So,
we got stuck with that too. It's like whoever that week, like go around the room. Can you cover this one? And you just have to work on something close.
Was there ever one that you guys were like bummed that you're like, this is a bad impression. I don't want to do it.
Oh, they're so super hard.
Usually during the primary seasons politically, they'd say, you're John Lickwick from Pennsylvania Circuit 4. And then you look at the impression like, hi, I'm John Lickwick. And there's no hook.
Nothing.
And, and then Lauren would say, are you ever going to get Representative John Licknick? And I said, no. Sometimes I said, Lauren, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But the key to impressions, if you can't do it, just say the name of who you're doing right at the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. I'm John Licknick, and they don't know. But what was your best one? I'm just curious, that you thought was the most accurate? Because I saw you did Arnold.
But my Arnold was not great. Especially, that was a huge bummer because Will Sasso was on the show. I really kind of replaced him. And he did the funniest Arnold.
Oh,
so then I had to come in and do my kind of half-baked one that wasn't that great and it wasn't funny and it wasn't as good as Will's.
It.
Well, it's already good.
But Will's was like a tour de force.
Yeah.
I kind of look like Mark Wahlberg. So, I sometimes do Mark Wahlberg. Come in, sit down. Maybe I'll give you a knuckle sandwich if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
That was kind of, but there was a lot of times too where I would just I remember one time I got assigned, they were doing a Frasier parody and the writer's like, you're going to play John Mahoney, who was the father on Frasier, who's a great actor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't play. He's like an older man. Yeah. And I remember sitting we did a lot of prosthetic makeup on Mad TV, like I think more than SNL. And I remember sitting in makeup for like 2 hours as they're aging me. And I was complaining so much, and I was on set, and I only had like 3 lines, and one of them was, "I'm John Mahoney." And I complained so much that they cut down my lines where I only said that in the sketch. And it was because I complained so much.
5 hours of prosthetic
oh my God.
makeup, 6 hours to get it off.
Getting it off when they put that like alcohol directly in your eyeball, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, it's almost done."
I'm such a colossal puss when I do movies, and they're like, or SNL even. But you hear about these people that are in makeup chair for 9 hours a day. I'm like, well, what are you shooting? Like, you shoot half a scene and then go home and undo it all. Like, you're only legally allowed to shoot so long, and you get all this shit on to look like the Blob, and then or the Penguin. I would just say, I'm going to sleep as the Penguin, guys.
Right. We'll
give you a head start tomorrow.
In the morning.
Exactly. Who's the guy who plays the Penguin now? A nice looking movie star.
Farrell.
Yeah, and it's like hey, some agent somewhere's going, "You're throwing away your good looks. You got good looks. You're behind rubber. I can't monetize this, kid." But so
he got enough good looking parts. Now he just won something for the Penguin. So
I want to actually come up with a lit cigar at some point. It's like, it's a magic trick.
Well, I know you're. But, I know you from your Rafael Palmero. I like they bother putting that in your Wikipedia.
What the hell is a Rafael Palmero?
I think it's a baseball player.
He was a baseball player for the Texas Rangers, and he was like a big steroid guy, and he kind of famously went in front of Congress and was like, "I did not take steroids."
Oh, right.
So we did like a parody called like, "Oops, I just took steroids" or something. I can't remember what it was, but that was another impression that I still am getting a lot of love for. People are constantly asking me to do.
Oh, really?
A baseball player who retired in 1996.
Well, did they do the thing like, because I noticed when the Mark McGuire and those went up to Congress that they were so roided up. By the time they got to Congress, they didn't bother to buy fitted suits. So like they got little pencil necks and giant suits, and it was so obvious.
Bursting through
gigantic suits.
I'm totally natural.
Look like David Byrne.
I'm wearing a 52 large.
Yeah.
And now I weigh 160 pounds, but I'm telling you, I did nothing. That 290 I put on. But
I know my head is 3 times the size of a normal man's.
Yes.
I know that, Senator Lufnick.
I have a huge jaw and forearms for no reason.
I love the callbacks. It was representative, but
well, it was your character. I loved it. Well, he became a senator. He became a senator.
I'm going to run with it. So you did a lot of work before you got on Mad TV, and you went to Amsterdam for 2. Who went with you to Amsterdam?
Yeah. So I was there. So there was a theater that a bunch of the dudes in Chicago started, because like Dutch comedy back in the day was very...
Josh Myers, right?
Josh Myers was there. Seth Meyers was there, and I kind of came in right after him. But I was there with Brendan Hunt, who I don't know if you guys watched Ted Lasso. He's Coach.
Oh,
Beard.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that guy.
Yeah. And then, I was there for about 2 years, and we had great people come through. Sudeikis came through there for a year.
Sudeikis.
Jordan Peele. Sudeikis was there. Jordan Peele. Liz Kukowski. Kay Cannon, who directed me in Blockers. Amber Ruffin. Just all these really, really funny people. And it was a really fun time, too, because it was like before 9/11, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't the Euro yet. It was the Gilder.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. And I still talk to a lot of the sex workers I befriended while I was there. We still keep in touch.
Sex workers, okay.
It does. A Dutch accent is tricky, but the Myers brothers, Josh and Seth, didn't they live there in high school or something? They have a big affinity for it. I believe.
They just really, like, Josh kind of went native for a while and dated like a Dutch woman for a long time. And yeah, the Dutch people as a people, they're very like reserved. They're very honest. Like they would come up to you after the show and be like, I did not think you were the funniest one. I thought your black friend was funnier. But the song about sex was very good as well. So congratulations and goodbye. And you're like, thank you.
And goodbye.
If I had $1 for every time my wife said that, because she's half Dutch, her dad was Dutch, and she says,
"Oh yeah,
I listened to the podcast, and Ike was a terrific guest. You were not at a 10.
You were a little bit late there. I don't know why you were late.
The Representative Lutnack comeback was very entertaining. I'll see you at dinner time, bitch. I go, bitch. Why do you have to say bitch?
That's unacceptable.
So when did you start feeling like, just either as a kid or high school, like, I think I should do this, I'm good at this? Because on your Wikipedia page, it said, considered to be a lawyer or a politician.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, growing up in Chicago. I mean, my goal was Representative Lutnick when I was a child, but as I got older, I went to college, and I knew I didn't want to be in politics. I was a terrible student in college. Mm-hmm. And I kind of eventually got kicked out of college because I stopped going to class, and I was drawn to acting, and I was drawn to comedy, but I didn't know where to start. And my dad took us to see the Improv Olympics. I think like maybe their 15-year anniversary or their 10-year anniversary, and I saw improv for the first time, and I saw Adam McKay, and I saw Amy Poehler, and specifically the person who made me laugh so hard that I was like, I need to do this, was Tim Meadows.
Great.
Like
great.
He is to me like one of just the funniest people in the world, and
absolutely.
And watching him on stage just kind of enter a scene and make a random joke and got such a big laugh. I was like, oh, I'm signing up for improv classes. I got to do this. So I was like 18 at the time, and I really kind of jumped all in. It was so much fun.
And you're 18 at that point, and how old were you when you got Mad TV? Was that kind of your biggest break, and then you went from there?
That was my first break. I got Mad TV. I was probably 25-ish.
Okay.
Wow. And it was great. I was making that late night money, which when you're broke, you're like,
any money.
I'm basically Steve Jobs. And then as you learn, you're like, oh, late night money is terrible. It's not in the grand scheme of showbiz, acting. It's not.
But you're on a job. You worked with Del Close. That was Farley's guy. He used to talk about a lot.
Yeah, man. I hung out with Farley a couple times.
Oh, good.
I gotta meet him a couple times. And he was like my idol, like I loved him so much. And I remember one time he came, I was a busboy at Second City. And I remember he would come in once in a while, and he was always so nice.
I'm gonna finish that bread.
He was Midwest nice.
Midwest, Wisconsin nice. And one night he came up to me and was like, hey, where Johnny is, his brother Johnny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, he's at this party on Lincoln. And he's like, you want to go? Can you take me there? And I'll never forget. I turned to my
really. So he says that. Okay, go ahead. Finish this story.
So I turned to my friend, my buddy Brian from high school. It's like, hey,
I quit.
Can you take me and Chris Farley to this party? He was like, what? And we went there, and I remember we parked, and we're walking right under the L tracks, train tracks. And Chris is like, I gotta pee. And I was like, I gotta pee too. And we started peeing. And I remember he turns to me and he goes, you want to play swords?
Like sword fight.
And I was like, yeah. And I kind of turn, and we're kind of, mixing our urine.
Right.
And he just kind of turns and just pees kind of on my foot. He goes, I cut your foot off.
So what?
I remember laughing so hard I couldn't metabolize what was happening.
David, you knew Chris well. Did you ever sword fight with him?
Story
Did
checks
you guys
out.
sword fight?
But yes, that sounds like classic buffoonery.
I think I'm not just saying this because I'm on this podcast right now. I think this weekend we're going to show. I have 3 daughters from 6 to 12, and I think we're going to show them Tommy Boy this weekend.
It's a 30th anniversary. I heard. Oof. Maybe 20th.
That's a bummer when you. I heard it's the 15th. Actually, it just came out.
I would never say anything higher than 15. That sounds sickening. I don't know. I can't believe I've been around 30 years to do anything. Like, oh, gross.
You look really good though, man. Like you're really hanging on. Like it's a lot of people like they get smashed by the wall, but you're looking good.
Unbelievable.
Look at this. Thank you, buddy. Look at this.
You're
shit.
welcome.
I got my new sweater on. I'm trying to zhuzh it up for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's the beard. It's very good. It's working.
Oh yeah.
Tommy Boy is pretty much surefire, I think, for your kids.
I hope, yeah.
It is. I'll probably just hit a quick fast forward on the scene where you're.
Oh, that's right. You know, sometimes they take that out of when it's on TV and stuff, and I never knew that. And I'm like, oh, there's a couple of things they just pull out of movies where you're like, oh, yeah. So some people never see that part.
Yeah, if you're watching it on TBS, that's not in there. But we're going to go ahead and pay the Apple TV purchase. So you'll probably be getting a little check in the mail. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a competition, but if something doesn't work out or it doesn't quite fly, you pop in Wayne's World 1 or 2, but it's not a competition. No. I'm just saying, I love Tommy Boy. I think it's a classic. But if it doesn't work out, you're like, what do we do? Well, let's not surf the web or go on Instagram. Let's put in.
I have been pitched Tommy Boy 2, and I'm telling you, I always go, you have heard the news about Farley, and they're like, yeah, but it would still, and I'm like, it would still be
Can't
what?
do it without Chris.
It would still be what? I mean, you don't think that was 99% of them. They're like, it's about, and I'm like, oh, it's just a good solid brake pad movie.
Do they push back at the co-star who knew Chris better than anybody?
I said, well, I can't do it. You can get someone else.
Yes,
I think it's a prequel where you go back to the founding of Callahan Auto Parts.
Oh, okay.
And you have basically someone playing like young Brian Dennehy.
You go way back.
Okay. You go way back. Yeah. So this is way before Chris. So really what you're looking for,
100 years
instead of looking
that.
for a modern day Chris Farley, which is impossible, you find a modern day Brian Dennehy,
young Brian
which
Dennehy.
I think is doable.
Okay.
I think that is doable.
Okay.
That's interesting because looking at all your stuff, you're a writer,
right?
Is a real writer, not a comedian who I'll get in
some
the
bullshit.
Room, you know? And you're a co-producer, co-writer of your current project.
Now, how do you say it, Dana?
Now, I'd say that's the best pitch for a Farley that I've heard for a Tommy Boy sequel. You slap on executive producer, you do a cameo like Stallone in Staying Alive with Travolta, and you do that little turn. And it's David Spade, and then you walk. Yeah, boom, boom. So much boom's coming.
That's all I'm.
Do you like money? Do you like money? Do you like dollar bills?
You like money?
We're asked that a lot by our agents and managers. I don't think I want to fly to Malaysia for a one-nighter. Guess you don't like money. Guess you don't like money. Well, do you want to go with
likes
me?
Money.
That'd be
do you want to do impressions of Joe Biden for the Saudi royal family? I don't.
Well, that because they don't care what they pay. No tax. We pay the tax. We paid the shitbox golfer $400 million. He can't make a putt.
My friend, you are going to go home with this lion.
Yes,
it will fly with you on the plane. It's
we kill you on the way back to the airport, so we get it all back.
The key to that is my friend. That's it.
My friend.
My friend, listen to me, my friend. We are going to make you so rich if you want to be rich. And I'm from Denver. I just adopted this accent by watching too much Alabarsi television.
Too much.
All right, go ahead.
Running Point. Now, I have heard it both ways. Like, I think it's Running Point, and people say Running Point.
I thought it was the Mediocre Rascals. Wasn't that the name of it?
That was the name we tried to get.
The Mediocre Rascals. I decided to be.
The Little Rascals own any rascal.
Right. And Eddie Murphy would have a bone to pick.
Yeah. Luckily, we get involved. It's whatever you want it to be. You could say Running Point. You could say Running Point. You could say Running Point.
Yeah. Because there is something when people go, you're going to run point on this job or whatever on this client.
Right.
So I call it Running Point, and no one else does. And
I call it What's the Point? No. I was just gonna say,
funny.
okay, I got to put this in. I'm gonna watch it on Netflix. I watched the pilot.
A VCR. All right,
from
pop it in.
from the 80s. I mime it even if I'm clicking on digital. And you guys nailed it. There's a genre of that kind of workplace fun, single camera. And I honestly was thinking to myself last night, I don't feel like these people are acting; they're having fun. So whatever you're renewed for a second season.
Yeah.
We got my sources told me we were picked up for another season.
But you do something. You're part of putting it together, or is this?
You're an executive producer with Mindy Cowan.
Yeah. Mindy came to my partner Dave Stassen and I and was like, "You guys love basketball. We work together, the Mindy Project. We have this show that I think could be a funny kind of family business show at a basketball club." And we loved her. We had such a fun time working with her. It had been a while, and we had just finished up a thing. And so we kind of spent a long time kind of breaking the show and what it could be. And we kind of, it became very, very real when Kate Hudson was like, "I want to play this part." Cause that was like, wow, that's a real no fool in movie star.
Yeah.
She's fantastic in it. And you got Justin Theroux too, who's just too cool for school.
Friend of the show.
He's so cool. Friend of the show. Yeah. One of he's my best dressed friend.
He does dress cool.
Yeah, and it's just like I think he has clothes that are like all bespoke, like little leather jackets that like are only made for him.
His apartment's a speakeasy.
Can I throw something about this has been a thing that we talked to Justin about it. I just have a thing that like he would be the perfect guy in a Rod Serling biopic.
Oh my God, he looks so much like him,
and
he really
play
does.
that vibe. But I don't. It doesn't have to happen. But I just picture if you will.
Picture if you will.
Picture if you will.
He did night gallery.
A tiny leather jacket.
Picture if you will. Dracker cologne.
Well, I love that he's so polite.
I can't think of the other stuff.
Instead of think of this was the first thing. Think of this. Then he said, picture if you will. I watched 2 episodes of Twilight Zone yesterday.
Which one?
Wally Cox with the first AI woman that falls in love with him.
Wally Cox from an old TV show. What? Hollywood Squares.
Marlon Brando's best friend, by the way.
They would have sex with the same woman at the same time. They were like very famously like Coxmen together.
He was on that show, Esca Bros. You know, Wally Cox was on
Coxman.
Wally Cox was on.
What did you say? Because I want to laugh.
Esca Bros.
Eskimo
Brothers. But Wally Cox was the bottom left square when I was a kid on Hollywood Squares. And I had no idea he was an Escabro with all these famous people. I just thought he and Paul Lynde were funny, you know. So
that's tremendous.
Smells like pussy in here, I think. Yeah.
Smells like that was repeated on our podcast. But anyway, back to your show, Scared Straight. What? So you get Goldie Hawn's daughter,
get Katie, and
Katie Hudson, who I think is tremendous,
amazing, and it's so much. Like so fun, like stories about like her stories are so crazy, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, it's my birthday and it was crazy. Like Paul McCartney, you know, was there. And at one point he looked over to Barack Obama and told him this.
Jesus.
And I like when people tell you those stories, I'm like, what do I have? I'm like, oh really?
You're like, this was all at Pizza Hut?
One time Bobby Lee and I went to Las Vegas together. Like,
that's your story.
What are my
and we couldn't find his pubes.
Wow.
So he couldn't go on that night.
I've seen Bobby Lee naked more often than I've seen my own wife naked. So I've seen him naked 3 times.
Plot thickening.
Bobby is hilarious.
He is one of the all-time funniest.
He's got a very funny thing about him.
He's got a great burn. He acts real serious and just looks over.
Stares. I like when he stops.
And he does the death stare.
In his podcast.
And he's loaded up with something.
Every other comment is racist, and he just stares at them.
And he doesn't say anything.
Yes, I'm going to leave.
No,
I think I'm going to take off.
Yeah.
That's funny. By the way, Dana, on a side note, you don't have to listen. When I was golfing with Lovitz the other day, I burned him because we were on the green and he was blabbing away, and I was walking the other side of the green. And I go, "Oh, you're cutting out." And I've never used it in real life before, but it was good with Lovitz because he goes, "I take offense to that, and I'm sorry about your attitude." And then, but it was funny to say he's cutting out in real life. Laughed at my own joke, then laughed at his. All right, go ahead. Back to this guy.
Some people say you're cutting out on me. You're cutting out on me. I have a brother who says that to me. You're cutting out on me. Well, I'm not doing it intentionally, bitch.
Oh, yeah, they're mad at you.
Affectionate.
Hey, you're cutting out.
You're cutting out on me. It's not, what? So the show's a smash.
Show is picked up, which is
I thought
good sign.
you're in it a little bit, or where are you as an actor?
No, I'm not in it. I just kind of wrote it and was there while we were shooting it. My dad is in it. My dad is an actor. He plays the family attorney in it.
I saw him.
So
who
maybe you saw
played
him.
The attorney on jury duty.
Yeah, the judge. He played the judge on jury duty. So
and he always wanted to be in show business. You get in show business. Now he's in show business.
I got a Nepo dad.
And he has a good spot.
That's cool. A reverse. I've never heard of that.
A Nepo, because a Nepo, I understand people get mad at Nepo babies. I don't, by the way. I think they're good a lot of the time.
They're fine.
But Nepo
unnecessary evil.
Everyone can get, everyone can get behind a Nepo dad.
Yeah, let them have fun.
Yeah, what are you going to, and by the way, who I think has a shit ton of charisma is Chet Hanks.
Oh my God. That's someone else. Someone says to me, it's like, I can't believe Chet Hanks is such a good actor. I'm like, his dad is Tom Hanks.
That's top 10 of all time.
The apple ain't going to fall that far from the tree. If he's half as good, he's going to get a couple Oscars.
Come on.
Like,
Exactly.
Even if he only got 3 Oscars, that would be good.
Yeah. I only have 2. Best original score for the Brutalist.
Did you do that peppy tune?
I did it. That was
I
did all on my little Casio keyboard.
I saw Ignora last night because I had not seen it.
Again with Ignora.
I loved Ignora. What was the real name of it? What's it called?
Nora.
Nora. Okay.
Yeah,
Pardon me.
it.
No disrespect. But I saw
Ignora is some disrespect, by the way.
No, I only saw Dune 2 and Conclave of the nominees. How many have you seen?
Both of them. I loved Conclave. I loved Dune 2. I loved Nora, and I loved The Brutalist, and I think that's all I saw.
Will you watch The Brutalist again?
Never.
Never.
It's very
it's the
long.
feel-bad movie this summer.
Yeah, it's really it's brutal. But I really did think it was cool.
Was Dune 2 with the popes?
No, the popes were. They had to get a new pope, so they sequester him. Not unlike a jury, they put them all in this big room in the Vatican.
The pope,
yeah.
Don't you think he's a little
Game of Thrones? He can't be pope. You need to be a little heavier.
Yeah.
You can't have a stick figure as a
anorexia
pope.
popes.
They need to be round.
People want to
Marcy.
Marcy.
Can I ask you a question, Ike? Because you are our guest. One time the guest just clicked out.
Yeah.
I've had enough. You're kind of a movie fan. Because, one thing is you must be, I don't know if your IQ's been tested, but I saw it. I mean, come on. You've won twice.
Look at this shit.
With Jeopardy, $1 million, Celebrity
Heather,
Jeopardy.
He won Jeopardy twice.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, or no, wait.
Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Be a millionaire, another million, played with your dad.
Yes.
And then you win this, one of them, by referring to a obscure quote in Eyes Wide Shut, or a reference in Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick.
Yes.
Tell that story.
So I went on Celebrity Jeopardy. I won it. I got the trophy right there.
Did you go against Mindy?
No, I went against who did I play? I played Jalen Rose.
Shit.
I played Constance Wu. I played Simu Liu. I played Shang-Chi.
Wait a second. It sounds like it's a little stacked over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I played, hold on, someone else.
These are the people you smoked?
Then in the finals for Celebrity Jeopardy, I went up against Patton, who's a real smarty pants. Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Yeah. He is a definite pop culture.
Yeah, he loves that. And then also Will Wheaton, who you might remember from Stand By Me, Star Trek.
Yeah.
He still gets Stand By Me.
He still gets Stand By Me.
Next Gen. Okay.
I won that. So then I went back. They invited me on the Tournament of Champions, which I thought was just going to be like
not to do with celebrities. You're going up
no celebrities.
They threw you into that?
Real
first time that happened.
First time that happened, and it was like a fait accompli that I wasn't going to win, so I was just going to have fun and let these kind of sweet nerds destroy me. And I just kind of by a fluke won the quarterfinal, and the final question was the final Jeopardy category was Roman poets. And I was like, oh shit, I only know like one or two. And then I read like this, what the quote was. And I just, in my mind, I was kind of weighing them. And I thought of Eyes Wide Shut, because you remember the scene in Eyes Wide Shut where Nicole, they're at the party, they're at Sidney Pollack's party. Yeah. And Nicole Kidman, that like really creepy European guy, is like, hello, how are you doing? Have you ever read Ovid on the Art of Love? And I was like, oh, Ovid. Maybe it's Ovid. And so I credit Stanley Kubrick.
Oh my God.
How many times had you seen that movie? I watch it with the family. We watch it once a week.
With the kids?
Every Saturday with the kids, we watch it. We want them to understand that there is a Illuminati out there who are having secret sex parties.
Do you have other Kubrick movies that you like? Is it
Moon Landing?
The Moon Landing.
Moon Landing, the JFK.
He supposedly filmed
really good one.
Dana.
That was Oliver Stone.
Oh, he filmed
the Moon. I see.
Yeah,
okay,
you got it.
I have been in a bit of a Barry Lyndon phase. Really, I don't know the last time you've seen it was.
I have.
I remember seeing it when I was young, and I was like, it's so long. But now when you watch it, it's hilarious. First of all. And it's so beautiful. And Ryan O'Neal really was a really great actor. He was really
I had
good.
the same thing. The standard was so high in the 70s with Kubrick and other movies that I saw it, didn't get it, saw it in the theater. I watched it a year ago by myself, just said, fuck it. I'm going to go revisit it. And the prologue, what was the afterwards? They said, such was life in 16th century France or whatever, and they're all gone now. And then I got the whole thing, and the physical comedy of that dance sequence he did.
Oh my God!
Which he just stepped right up to the tippy toe of winking at us.
Yeah.
But that's a brilliant film. Atmospherically, you are completely submerged.
Oh my God!
Into it, and the cinematography is, So anyway,
and
David,
it's also very sexy. And do you guys mind if we watch a couple hours of it real quick?
We always talk about movies at some point, and I always say, if you can only watch one movie tonight, you had to watch a movie tonight by yourself, Ike. What pops into your head?
God, this is different than my favorite movie, right? Like,
but what would you watch tonight?
Tonight, if I was going to watch something,
you have 5 seconds.
I would watch Idiocracy.
Oh,
okay.
Wow!
Workplace comedy with Mike Judge,
Workplace
the
comedy,
director.
Mike Judge. I was just watching a little of it on a flight last week, and. Not sure I get any parallels to The President, of course, but it is such a funny movie, and every time I watch it, it gets funnier and funnier.
A lot of people.
I would watch the Bridget Remagen World War II movie from the 70s. That's what I would watch.
What's it called?
The Bridget Remagen or Remagen. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to watch that.
But I want to do it.
Yeah, he was.
I like. The Longest Day. If you like World War II movies, but
that is a great movie, The Longest Day.
But if you haven't seen, because God rest his soul, Gene Hackman, if you haven't seen The Firm, You've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah. He's great in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole movie is fantastic.
That movie is really great. Like for like a legal thriller, that's a great movie.
And he's unbelievable.
Is Denzel in that?
No, that's The Pelican Brief. That's his next movie. David, what would you watch? And don't say Tommy Boy. Don't say Tommy Boy. Don't plug the 30th anniversary.
Don't say Opportunity Knocks.
Josie and the Pussycats. All the classics. No, I don't.
Dave's not a movie guy.
When I get on a movie, when I get on a flight, I have to have a TV in the back of that chair. And it just kills time. It's so great. So when I'm on a flight, they have new releases. They have old ones. I always buzz through. I can't tell you the last one I saw, but I will say I don't think they can call Fern Gully a new release on Delta. Just shouting out. Legally, I don't think they can. And I will watch almost anything on a plane because you're stuck. So, God, what did I watch last time? Maybe that Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool one.
I like that movie. I like science fiction.
Hey,
you got another thumbs up.
Hey, Dana, can I tell you something about Opportunity Knocks? I saw that movie opening night.
Love it.
And a kid I went to school with, elementary school, was one of the kids the karate kids who beats you up because you shot that movie. Yeah, Josh Livingston. I don't know if you remember him.
In Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah. So I saw that movie opening weekend, baby.
I did the best I could. It was a bit of a tussle with creative forces, but this goes full circle to this podcast. So I'm doing the movie in Chicago, and so there's these two dudes playing dude number one, dude number two. Maybe they have a line. They look like they're in their 40s or early 50s. And I'm just talking to them at lunch and whatever. And I didn't know one of them was the infamous improv guy you mentioned earlier, the godfather of improv. So Del Close, he's moonlighting, getting a check on this silly romantic comedy. And I didn't know till later I was talking to Del Close. He didn't never kind of go, well, you know what? I kind of started improv in Chicago. No, he was very cool.
And that checks out because he was always like broke. So he would, whenever they were shooting a movie in town, he would get up,
he's
the directors would call him. He's teaching, and he was also like, a heroin addict for a long time. He wasn't like he didn't have his shit together, so to speak. Right. But he was a really fascinating guy, and I learned a lot from him. And for a guy who I think touched so many people, he wasn't a name dropper around us. He never was like, oh, one time Bill Murray told me. He was just like very like he was a very cool interesting guy. Yeah,
Mike Myers always would refer to Del Close.
Mike was big on him.
Yeah.
I have
Mike Myers, who, by the way, is an enemy of the state right now because he's Canadian. So you guys should reach out to him because they're coming after him.
Yeah.
Well, I did Elon Musk for 28 seconds on that show and got a little chatter from him. So now Mike's doing this sort of Monty Python-esque avant-garde version. It's really funny. He's running, he's turning, he turns himself off. He's like, but yeah, we'll have him on tomorrow to discuss his.
And if you guys could shelter him, that would be nice because he's going to need help.
We will
remember shelter in place during the pandemic. Shelter in place.
Do you remember the pandemic?
Wherever you are.
Do you mean the plandemic?
Yeah.
Guys, can I bring up?
Let's
can
look
I
at
bring up a video of Anthony Fauci that I made? It's a jib jab where he kind of admits the whole thing was a hoax.
I want to hear it.
I want to see a jib jab.
You know my Anthony Fauci bit. I know I told you if you had 2 shots. I just do this guy for him. You'd be dancing in the streets. I missed it by a little much. A little bit. Who knew it was a mutating mother? That's why I'm introducing the Daily Shot. Anthony Fauci's Daily Shot. Every single day you go to your healthcare provider. By the time you get to your car, you don't have any immunity, but it's a beautiful 39 seconds.
He does. He's a doctor. He's supposed to be like, have an academic voice. And he sounds like he's trying to sell you like an old Pontiac in New Jersey.
Let me get you in this LeSabre.
From the bottom of my all-new leather Fauci's, go fuck yourself. I just did that for myself. You are a great audience, Ike. You must be fun in the writer's room, and you're a great writer.
I have a serious question for Ike before we get rid of him.
Please.
You were shooting the movie Blockers, which I think I just met your director recently. We had
Kay Cannon,
super cool guy. He's also friends with Theo.
Wait, Kay Cannon directed Blockers.
Oh, maybe
that's a lady.
Maybe he wrote it, or did you write it?
Oh, there were. Oh, yeah. No, there were other writers. There was.
Okay, it was one of the 40 people. So
exactly.
He's friends with Theo, pretending to be part of the film Blockers, and he was on the set. And but it says because I have a bad neck, and you fucking did a stunt. You hurt your.
Oh yeah.
God, that's the worst on a movie too.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
What dick joke were you doing where you fell?
I was trying to suck my own dick. It was an improv that I threw in there.
Guys, one take. Keep the cameras going.
Yeah, it happens. The last take of the thing. No, right when it happened, you kind of don't even realize what's happening until before you know it, you have a doctor being like, "Hey, you fucked up your neck."
Oh.
And so I was really bummed, but luckily, like I really took the rehab of it all really seriously. The worst part about hurting your neck, besides the fact that you could possibly be paralyzed, is you have to wear a neck brace, which we can all agree is an inherently comic thing. Like when you see people in a neck brace, you're thinking like Christopher on The Sopranos or like John Larroquette on Night Court. It's like it's a funny bit because most of the times it's like 9 times out of 10 when someone's wearing a neck brace, they were rear-ended. But this one, it was a more involved one that was like had braces and buckles and stuff.
Oh no!
And yeah, that was rough. That was really rough because like I would see friends of mine, and people on the street too, who I don't even know them, would walk up to me like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
They feel for you,
and like they feel for you, which is nice. But you're also like, I don't want to.
Can't tell this fucking story.
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
You can tell us though.
So. Yeah, so no, it was a bummer, but it really every morning I would wake up and they were like, you gotta correct your posture, which is basically if you shrug your shoulders and put your arms up and then drop your arms, that feels crazy, right? But that means that's your proper posture. Okay. So I would strap that brace on and put on like a giant sun hat and just like walk up and down my block for as long until my legs gave out, basically. I was committed to fixing it without surgery, trying to hold it. So, and I didn't have to have surgery. And now watch this. Ready for this?
Oh, that's good. That's more than I can do.
I could do the full Brady Bunch mobility.
Yeah.
Can you crack your back just by yourself standing up? Like this?
I could crack my sternum a little bit.
Okay.
But I read about a crazy person on TikTok that said you shouldn't be cracking and popping.
Have you seen those chiropractors on TikTok? Damn. But most of the time the people fart on the ones I get, but those are funny too.
Well, I get ones for dogs where it'll be like a guy who
takes
like 140-pound pit bull, and he's like, and you hear like a bomb go off, and the dog is like,
oh, dogs are not used to getting cracked. It's so weird.
And then the dog's happy though and runs away smiling. Is that because I saw one of those?
They don't know if they're happy.
I think that there's an owner holding a piece of bacon on camera. I don't buy it.
I saw him do it to a gerbil. He's like this, and the gerbil's like, "I was fine." By the way, who's complaining?
I did it to a red ant. I was like,
"Can you cut him in half accidentally?"
And the ant was like,
"He's like, it's more my thorax."
Luckily, I can regenerate.
It's more my thorax. Well, a gentleman joins us here today, Mr. Ike Barinholtz. She's made quite a splash on the Mindy Project. Plays a character named Morgan Tookers. Is that funny, Ed? Morgan Tookers, male nurse. Oh, please welcome down. So I wanted to mention that because 5 years on the Mindy Project. Tell us about Morgan Tookers, because we're going to get letters.
Yeah. Why didn't you ask?
We're going to get letters.
We haven't even have we had Mindy on, Dana? We should have Mindy on.
Love to have her
She
on.
would do this in a second.
She's very fun.
She loves
you guys.
She's like me, a big SNL fan.
Let's book Mindy.
She doesn't have to talk
possible.
about us now. We won't put her.
But if you could do it as Johnny Carson, that'd be amazing.
Well, let me do this for you. This is what I do now for friends.
Yeah,
Johnny Carson, gets pulled over for drunk driving, 1972.
Okay. Sorry, officer. I didn't know I was swerving. I had 2 slippery monkeys at the hook and crook.
Yes. Slippery monkeys at the hook and crook.
Yes. Sorry, I had a tomato strawberry boom at the Windy Summit.
I just like the drinks and the location at the Windy Summit.
I had a double daiquiri up with a twist at the Rusty Nail.
Copper Penny is by Warner Brothers. He would have gone to that one.
All right, so
and the Rusty Nail.
And the Rusty Nail. And or the Desperate Pillow is another good watering hole. The Desperate Pillow. But anyway, so those 5 years was big for you,
it was
right?
And it was so much fun. It was such a fun job. We had, such a fun cast and writers. It's like when a lot of my children were born while we were doing the show. And now it's so crazy. Now they're watching it. It's on Netflix, or it was on Netflix. And now they're watching it. And it's really sweet because you do stuff and you just kind of don't rewatch it for a long time, and then it comes back to you one day with your kids, and they get to see me.
That's fun, though.
Like farting so hard that my pants fall down. And
stuff. How old are the kids again?
6, 9, and 12.
Okay, so they're still in the world of innocence and magic. Except
and
they have social media, but still, they're like
they do. But we don't. I really am like, you're gonna watch like SNL and Wayne's World and Tommy Boy and the things that I loved, because at some point they're gonna go online and watch some idiot online. So, and as long as they're in my house,
before they like the pranksters on TikTok, you have to give them some baseline.
If I was running for president, I would sadly have to execute all TikTok pranksters.
I do not like pranksters.
Or you're put in a gulag, like because they're not even like clever pranks, man. It'll be like a guy, like an older man in a Home Depot, like trying to get like a bag of mulch. And they walk up behind him and like give him a wet willy, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" And then they run away, and I'm like,
or they hit him with a ball in the head, and then they both look around like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Beat that guy's ass."
Too. I got hit too, and it's like you guys are now going to break rocks for 5 years.
Yeah,
please. Let's see some pranks about that.
I've seen when pranks go bad. I should send you one. It's Instagram where it goes wrong, and they get the shit kicked out of them. It's great.
David, I have seen those, and it's mother's milk to me, where a guy just starts wailing.
Yeah, and he's like, it's a prank.
It's a prank.
Who cares if it's a prank?
I've seen those too.
Why would I be like, oh, you're not Candid Camera, you're some asshole.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were disrupting my life for internet.
For your
I'm
own
gonna stop
fame,
punching you in the face.
Don't get me going, Ike.
Ike, now I have to say, were you named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, whose nickname was Ike? I'm sure you've been asked this a billion times, but Ike is a very my name's a little unusual.
This one's for the fans. I've never discussed this before, and I never will again.
Never been asked.
I will never discuss it again after this. It's very private, but I will tell you. No, my real name is Isaac, and yeah, I know.
There we go.
It's a Jewish bummer. But I had a teacher, my favorite teacher, a guy named Kehoe, Mr. Kehoe, and he started kind of calling me Ike, and that's really when I kind of became Ike. And
Ike's kind of cool
because it's very rare.
Nice. It's rare, and most Ikes I think are good. Ike Eisenhower was an amazing
Ike
president.
Turner was
really good.
Okay.
Ike Turner's the rough one, but you also have Ike Austin was the center for the Miami Heat, was very good. He was a good Ike Turner early on had a vision.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree he made some very bad decisions.
Yeah.
But and I don't like him. I think he's a bad guy.
Good job. On the record with that.
On the record, I want to just end the controversy.
Okay, it's 12:23 Pacific Standard Time, and
the controversy.
Ike Turner gets
he votes
Ike
no.
Barinholtz thumbs down.
Come on, Zoom. Put that thumb.
Come on, let's do it.
It doesn't do it when you really do it. Look, I got rain. Dana, look at that.
Wow.
Heather, did you see that?
We don't know how it happens. It's just random. I can't.
He has a special Zoom app.
Yeah, you know, it's Spade
a little
World.
more, but it's worth it. All right, Ike. Anything else, Dana?
Are there any final thoughts you want to do? Because what the Scared Straight show or Standing Running? What is
Standing
it called?
Room Only.
It's called Standing Room Only.
It says it right on top of it.
No,
That was fast.
it is. And I always hate when shows tee themselves up for critics to slam it.
Yeah.
You know, running point is more like whatever.
Yeah.
Running away. You're like
Happy Times was anything but.
Bad Moms, more like bad movie.
Yeah, that's really
like,
clever.
hey, come
I
on.
think they're so excited.
Don't
that
go
they
for
came up
that.
with such a delicious pun.
Delicious.
Delicious.
No, I just gotta say when I first heard your guys' podcast, I was listened to it. I was so excited being on this show. So much fun. You guys have made me laugh so much over the years.
Thank you.
It's really
Thank you, buddy.
it's wild. It's wild.
I'm putting you in the Hall of Fame of guests.
Yeah, good
only
laughs,
because you were so
lot of
lively,
fun.
so much energy. You laughed at our jokes.
So hey, can I say, suck it, Thoreau?
Yeah, Thoreau.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Thoreau's
always
gotta
in the
come
Hall of
back and
Fame,
try
man.
to beat you.
Yeah. Well, let's have a little competition. Make it healthy.
And you're
Make it
smart.
interesting.
No one knew that. That's great.
No, I present very dumb.
Yeah.
Won $2 million for charities on. And
Oh,
as a
you gave it
writer,
to charity?
correct.
Wah, wah.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
I always
keep?
like a
it's a
portion
foundation
goes.
I've started. I've started a foundation that I wet my beak a little bit.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
wet my
don't worry
beak a
about
little
that.
bit. Yeah. Wet
I'll
the
take a
beak.
taste. I won't take all of it. I'll wet my beak a little
Get
bit.
a
Don't worry.
taste.
Some went to some kids. Some went to some poor people. Some went to my boat.
Yeah.
Ah,
Something for the effort.
I wet my beak is a great figure of speech. That's got to be it. We got to do a Sopranos remake, man. That
Oh,
is a
my
fucking
God.
brilliant thing.
That's
So.
the best. That's the
All
best.
right,
Yeah.
boss. Appreciate it.
That's
Look for Running Point.
Running
Running
point. You guys
Point.
are amazing.
Running Point, Netflix right now.
Peace out.
Please have me back.
Yeah. Peace out.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all this stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman. Dana,
Yeah. What do you got?
well, we have Eliza Schlesinger today, who
Mm-hmm.
is a comedian. I actually see a lot down at the old clubs and colleges I play.
I have, yeah, she goes to the Comedy Store. She works, man. She's a
She
hard
grinds it out like Nikki. They're all these.
Mhm.
I'm not going to
These
say
gals-
these
these
women.
gals,
yeah,
these
it's just
gals.
really these comics just grind it out, and she's good. I think I always see her kill. I follow her a lot. She comes in because she does like 3 a night, and because she's got a special coming out. You know this, the Amazon Prime special.
Oh, the one called Different Animal,
That's right, March
Yeah.
11th, I think.
Amazon Prime.
And that's going to be a good one because I've seen some of the stuff she's doing on it.
Yeah.
She talks, well, you know, she talks, she's got so much great stuff and she's had so many specials. She's been out there, books, specials, podcasts. She does it all and it's all working.
And we get to talk to her just about her process. And I love that word, her process.
Tell
But
me about your
she's
process.
she's someone who went to her first open mic and then was a headliner in clubs within 3 years, which is not easy to do.
Very hard.
Took me a lot longer than that. Took me 3
Oh.
years to learn how to hold the mic.
3 years, I had about, 14 minutes. I mean, honestly, you think you have an hour, you don't.
No. So she had a killer hour and 36 months of stand up. She has a cool name. We talk about how people just, like I was always, instead of Dana Carvey, it was Dana Garney. Horrible introductions early on in your career. Yours was.
Oh, I gave her a bad introduction too. I didn't even mess up the
that's right.
Schlesinger part.
There's
We'll
a
talk about that.
controversy about.
There was a
was
big controversy.
There was a big thing that happened between Eliza and David, and we
Yeah.
talk about that, and we talk about what she wears on stage, her marriage. It's a fun episode. I really enjoyed talking with Eliza.
Without further ado, here she is. He was like a John Belushi thing. Yeah, you got it going.
Oh man, he hated women. Oh no,
John Belushi hated women. Yeah,
he's like famous for quoting.
It's a good start.
What do you? I like pizza. I like movies, and I hate women.
He's famous. He's famous for saying women aren't funny, and I only think about that because journalists always bring it up, and I'm like, he's dead, so I guess I win.
Oh,
quotes follow forever. Have you ever been like? You read something and Eliza said this and it's completely made up? Obviously you have.
Not, or just like a half quote and you're like, I'm sorry that I said that like half awake on a podcast in 2010.
Yeah.
Like, do I still need to remember my firm stance on dogs versus cats on a sandwich being a pita?
Going out on a limb. Literally.
Yeah.
Dude, pita had a good run. I mean, that pita bread, that was a good bit for...
Well, like, stoner podcast people have to be like, oh no, is a tender McNugget, is a pita a sandwich? And you're like, the world's on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's literally on fire.
Literally.
I was going to say it was too soon, but when I said last night to someone, well, this is rude. We'll take it out. But I said, oh, where do you live? And they said, Encino. And I said, oh, did you have any problems with what happened in the Palisades? They said no. And I said, oh, even the fire doesn't want to go to the valley? And they just stared at me and I go, no, but actually, so it was horrible. So everything okay? I had to skim over it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to defend Encino right here. The first house I ever bought was Encino. And I would go over the Mulholland Hill into the hella Hollywood party. Who loves you? Go back to the country. I'm going on record defending
I like
Encino.
Encino.
Do you?
The first TV show I ever shot, we shot it in Encino in like a mansion. It was like a reality show. Mm-hmm. And I had no real reference for it. But as I get older, you're like, oh, that's where all the money in the valley goes. Like if you want to live like a millionaire in Kansas City, buy your house in Encino and you can live like a person.
South
is
of the
Encino
Boulevard.
the nice version? Is it like closer to the mountain? Better that way?
But it's on the flats, but you want to be south of Ventura. You don't want to be in the crime-ridden areas, although they have their advantages and fun too.
Was this show called The Bachelor?
No, it was called... You would only know this if you had trouble sleeping and or a coke addiction because it aired so late.
Well, what was the subject of it? Let us see if we can guess the title. What was the idea of the show?
It was called Excused, and it was like a dating show. And I was the host.
Oh, it is a dating show.
Date. Oh yeah, we did 230 episodes.
Holy shit!
I have eaten. The bigger issue is that no one knows the show, but I have eaten at every single restaurant in Encino.
Oh, because
and Reseda.
You're out there. I love it.
Reseda and Encino. If there was a lunch special, if there was a sushi bar, I ate there.
Who does what network was that on? How did I miss a 230 episode? It's like Seinfeld.
It's like Friends minus the money. It was syndicated. It was CBS Studios. So it was picked up in all these crazy markets. So every once in a while, I'll get some like dude in skinny jeans that's like, I used to watch you when I was getting ready for my shift.
Skinny jeans. I used to watch you.
Yeah.
Before I go to Fuddruckers,
did you like it? It wasn't really for
That's
me.
right.
You ever get a backhanded compliment? I heard you're pretty funny, but it's not for me, man. I saw some of your stuff.
I stopped watching when you got married. I stopped watching.
Oh, do they say that?
It's you can take the good with the bad. You get all kinds of weird compliments that I'm like, look, you would still love to have sex with me. We both know it, but thank you so much for buying this ticket and enjoy the improv. Enjoy the show.
I want to walk around with that attitude.
Yeah, I do too.
You want to have sex with me. We both know it.
We both want it. You could.
We both want it, but I am married, and so it's tough. But yeah.
But
do women comedians who are photogenic, let's put it this way, attract the creep element more than the stud dudes, the men?
I guess I can't comment on more than but I think it's not even about being attractive. I think you just, as a woman, you just like leave the house. You're like, here I am. And then the universe is like, well, here's the list of weirdos that are going to make it tough for you.
Yeah.
No matter what you look like. So I don't even know if being attractive matters.
Guys are just like, hey, let's do this. They'll figure it out later if you're attractive. They just need to get something going.
I mean, I've definitely talked to male comics, big male comics, lesser known ones that have, I mean, I think stalkers come in, I think mental illness knows no gender. And
yes,
that's your next, your next special.
A good hooky title.
Yeah, because it includes everyone.
Ali Wong always slams when she gets on stage. She goes, like Pauly Shore brings her up. She goes, Pauly, there's so many girls that would fuck. This guy's the grossest guy out there. All male comics are gross, and all these girls will fuck them. It's so rude. We're all in the back going, now, here.
I am, now, here. Let this meeting come to order.
Now, see here.
Oh, I thought you meant here. Like, I. Like, I agree with that. Like,
no, I do like it.
I say here. Yeah.
I say, I think most male comics would proclaim themselves degenerate scumbags, and I think they wear it proudly. And you become a comic because you're like, look,
of course,
we can all agree I'm physically repulsive, right? But if you can make a woman laugh, I mean, it's disproportionate.
We've all heard that rumor, yeah. And I always say, comedy's like music. Where, what kind of comedy are you doing? Are you like? It's like saying I like music. It's too general. So, you can make a girl laugh that's on their wavelength. Like, what kind do you like? Dry humor? Do you like goofy? Do you like so? Sometimes you do sync up with someone because of that. Of course. I mean, if that's your only, listen, I wasn't famous in high school. There's nothing going on. It's just all trying to be funny. That's all.
And you're on a platform. Go ahead, Eliza.
Well, I was going to say what's weird, just for a moment, if I could
I want to hear
pull
this.
back the curtain. Well, you said you weren't famous in high school, but like, and I watched you guys in high school, and that's what's crazy for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And like, Just Shoot Me, Chopping Broccoli, The Church Lady. Like, I mean, I know all of your resumes, and David, some parts of the year you and I share a similar haircut, but and we were on many lineups together. And Dana, I've never met you, but it is very weird to finally talk to people. And I felt this way when I met you, David, where you're like, oh my God, like you were my reference for so many funny things, for all the sketches I wrote in high school. And
that's nice, right?
I mean, David, I probably never got to talk to you about this because we always see each other in passing, but like, I don't think there was one of the most impactful sketches was like the Gap Girl sketch. And Dana, like my mom bought me Wayne's World on VHS as a surprise for a sleepover. I memorized the whole movie. Like, you guys are massive bricks in like a comedy fortress that I've like built in my mind. And so
I like that.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I totally get that. You know, the things that I saw, like if I had met John Cleese at a certain age, I still, oh, good. I want to Wikipedia. But I get it. If you're in your formative years, I say 6 to 12 or 13, 14, that time frame, shows you watch, comedians you see. So we get it. But of course, you know now that we're just people who went to a club on a bet and then ended up on television. We get it. Can you kind of emotionally or mentally touch your fame and how much accolades and money you're making doing this? Or is it still a little bit surreal? You're pretty young.
I don't know. It's grounding and surreal at the same time. Like sometimes you look around, you're like, oh my God, like every stitch of everything in this really nice house is because I thought to make a joke about something. And then I look at all the things I don't have, and I'm like, and you could be making more jokes and have nicer things if you got out of bed quicker.
I think we all are the weird. You always look to someone that's sort of well known and that you grew up with, and you forget that they're sitting there going, I could do more. I could do better. That's all you're thinking all the time is like, work on my act, work on this, try to get this going.
Where are you at on the disciplines? Because we've met different people on this podcast who really do workshop, like Nikki Glazer, Jim Gaffigan. It's an amazing thing. How effortless was, or how hard was it for you to get a position on Stand Up Mountain? Did it come quickly, or was it a grind? Or I don't know It
came relatively quickly. I think I got my position relatively quickly because I became like a solid touring headliner in 2008.
And when did you start?
Jesus.
I started when I was 21.
But
so I was
2000
doing it.
What?
Well,
2000.
I graduated college. I started when I was so I graduated college in like 2004, 2005. And so I did it for about 3 years.
Okay.
Became a touring professional after.
That's fantastic.
And this was, it was when it was. And so I was able to sort of become a headliner and bypass a lot of sexual harassment very early on.
Shocking.
But I don't know. David could tell you. I mean, he sees me out. I'm out when I'm not on tour. I'm out almost every night of the week.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're jumping club to club, right?
Yeah, and it's something that you think would like kind of like lighten up over time. But I'm about to turn 42, and if I'm not on the road, I'll knock back like 2 or 3 sets a night just for the love of it,
And
just
do you
always out there.
Do you record always, or do you just go and do it?
Do you remember it? It's hard to remember for me.
I tend to, if I do record, I have trouble listening back. So I tend to.
I can't listen back.
I'm like, who wants to hear this? This is awful. I tend to listen back if it's a brand new joke. Like my new special is out on Amazon March 11th. And so I've already started.
Different animal.
A different animal.
Amazon Prime.
Not regular.
You can get your, while you're watching me, you can shop for air filters, toilet paper, Chinese socks.
This is kind of, this is inside baseball. I love that phrase. But sometimes when you're trying to bit, your setup just happens to be perfect. Maybe sometimes because it's a new bit. And then if you don't record it or you don't remember, you're like, oh, fuck, it's not working as well. What was that setup that made me enter the joke perfectly, It's frustrating.
It's frustrating. What I have done, and I've done this, I don't rely on this, but I have a pretty close relationship. Like if you follow me, you're a pretty decent fan. I will put on my own Instagram stories. Hey, if you were at the 8:00 at the theater tonight, what was that thing I said about pigeons?
Funny.
Wow.
And people, or I'll say it on stage, I'll be like, could somebody text that to me? And someone always remembers it.
That's smart.
Wow.
That's
I crowdsourced my own memories.
And phrasing, I'll tell you, Liza, I'm the same way. First of all, we were on the same show probably 3 nights ago. But I have to say, when I do it, I don't know I like to do new bits. I record them, but it's almost worse to listen to them.
It's awful.
Because it's so sickening that I have to make myself go, I recorded, I did it the right way. I just have to hear it or write it down so I memorize like just the phrasing because it worked. And then it's so lazy, but it's something sickening about it, repels me to, and I have to like, I do another show and I wait all day and then I go, I got to just hear it and go, that is how to do it. Okay. But it's so hard to make yourself do that.
It's hard to, I recently, I got all the promo cuts for my Amazon special and I have to watch myself back and I have to take like a deep cleansing breath.
Gross. Yeah.
And it's weird. It's like, so this is something I wish on other people, but I can't watch myself. Like there's something very, very removed about all of it. Like you have the ego to get up there, but actually digesting yourself for yourself is a weird existential kind of torture.
And how long did you do your special, tape it? And then so you taped it and you said you're already working on, do you want a full new hour or do you want mostly new before you go out or what do you want?
Yeah. I mean, the timeline to the average civilian, the timeline seems different than it is because, and you guys know this, by the time people see your hour, you've already been on the road and working because it's like a 4-month time period between when you record it and when it's actually released.
Airing,
but even prior to recording it, you had jokes that didn't make it or jokes you were taking out that you still want to work on. So you're just constantly. The other night, I actually got up, and I seldom do this, with just a list of jokes that I've written down that I haven't gotten to, and I just read them, and then we'll just start with those little. Just see
what pops out. You're right, and sometimes it's a bit of a trick.
Give us one of these jokes?
Yeah, give us one.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
I want to explore the absolute rage that I feel. I have to preface it by saying my husband is awesome. We have a lovely relationship. He wakes up at like 5 a.m. He gets our daughter ready. He makes all of us breakfast. He does everything. He's elegant. He supports women. Like he's the best. The absolute abject rage I feel toward him when he takes a nap. Like he needs it so he won't collapse.
So he'll live.
There's just something too gentle. I'm like, why don't you take your nap, you little gentle toddler? Why don't you take that little baby nap and rest your eyes? Like he's been up for 18 hours. Like he has to take a nap so he doesn't collapse.
I didn't see this napping on your resume. I don't think we would have had a first date if I knew you napped all day. And he's like, I get 5 minutes a day. Just relax.
Yeah, it's a 1 hour nap. And I'm like, but what if I need to talk to you? Like so it's less that it's more about making fun of the unjustified anger. It's never an actual anger toward him.
That is funny that you're just enraged. You're not kind of bothered or a little bugged. You're just furious is funny.
Someone will be like, hey, can you ask Noah a question? I'll be like, don't know because he's in the land of Nod. So I guess we'll just put our lives on hold while he naps. Meanwhile, it's 1 hour. Everything's fine.
Is he on a couch publicly or is he in a bedroom with the door closed?
No, he retreats to the bedroom and no one can go in there.
Oh, by the way, that walk of shame he's trying to, I'm getting mad too.
I'm getting fucking pissed at this guy.
If I was at your house talking to you guys and he was quietly going in the other room, like, where are you going?
Where are you going?
What you'd probably say.
Where are you creeping off to? I need
Nap
you to
time?
Yeah, I got to talk to you about a conversation I had with a female friend. Can you get back here?
A female friend.
Here's what you tell your husband to say, which will make it slightly funny and less annoying. Oh, Eliza, I'm going to take to my bed.
That sounds like he's ill. Like take to the waters.
Yeah. Well, or it's very regal. It's a king.
No, it couldn't be worse. It's worse.
Take to my bed.
That does sound like you're sick. Because I also remember you were in The Road to Wellville. So I wonder if that's...
Oh, you saw that.
I did see that.
Who was Dana?
Yeah, he played like a mentally handicapped person.
Street weirdo guy.
Excuse me?
Who was Anthony Hopkins was my dad, and I said
unhoused. I said unhoused.
Yes.
Okay.
It was an unhoused hobo?
I got to hang out with Sir Anthony Hopkins or Tony. But the last day there, I just said, see ya, Hoppy. But anyway, we're close. We're
close.
It was a thrill being with him. Just couldn't imagine anything more.
You
fun.
Played an unhoused bum.
An unhoused
like when you
bum.
Combine the good and the bad.
Creeping
phrases.
around this mansion in upstate New York and terrorizing Bridget Fonda.
Yeah, I actually have been to that. It's called the Mohawk Lodge.
Yes, and it is haunted, right?
I mean, anything old is going to be haunted. I mean, but we used to go there. My dad used to take us there.
Really?
When we were kids. Yeah. It's so random. It's in...
Wait, Eliza, is it called Mohonk?
Yeah. M-O-H-O-N. Didn't we do a SNL retreat there? Or no?
We did a retreat in New York in Mohonk.
It's in, not Plattsburgh. Something. It's up there by Hudson.
Right.
It's like up there.
It's way up the Hudson.
It's an old
Dana,
building.
do you remember that? We all went, Eliza. All the cast members went up.
I was there. I was on.
What do you mean?
I was in the cast. I was on SNL.
You were there?
Yeah, I didn't do a lot that year.
You could have been there for 3 seasons as a 10-year-old feature player. Just never got on.
Yeah, you could have played the junior high girl with the ponytail. What's up?
I will tell you, my daughter's just turned 3, and so it's on me to show her what's funny. So I showed her a bunch of In Living Color, and then I was like, you need to see this sketch. It's called Matt Foley, whatever he was. And it was the one with you and Christina Applegate.
Oh, yeah.
When he falls on the table. I was trying to explain to her why that's funny when someone falls onto furniture. And that took the funny right out of it.
Did she react to it? I mean, she's 3.
Nope. But she will. She will ask for it. In like 6 months, she'll be like, I want to see the furniture guy. And then you'll be like, I will pull it back up for you.
The furniture guy.
Yeah.
Does she watch Miss Rachel?
No.
Really?
Just never thought about it.
I thought that was the big hook.
No, but we watch a lot of Michael Jackson Thriller on repeat, the whole video.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Because that's a little scary,
advanced.
right? It's monsters coming at you and stuff.
I was like, you need to know what good music is. Halloween was there. I was like, you have to know this. And now, I mean, if you're a parent, you will just live to see all of your favorite things repeated to you ad nauseum until you hate them. We listen to Thriller every morning, multiple times.
If you had to guess next Halloween, what would your child go as, you think? Would it be
I already know.
Spider-Man?
Going,
what?
Oh, she's going as Elsa. I already asked her. It's either Elsa or Michael Jackson. It's whatever.
It's funny. Next year, it's in 9 months. She's
she already knows
on it.
3, 4, or 5. Halloween rocks. I mean, Halloween is for that age.
The pocket.
The cute kids, twick a tweet, and then the 15-year-old high school dude. Could I get some candy? Not fun.
So my block does the Halloween for our entire area. So it's like 1,000 people.
It's a job.
Not only that, the kids are so rude. They don't know to say trick or treat. And my joy in life is putting on a witch face and I heckle these kids.
Oh, I love it.
I try to be, and they kind of crave it. And when a kid comes back for candy and I'm like, I recognize you, get out of here, you little fat brat. And I turn them away. I don't call them fat. But I love to scare them because you have to say please and you have to say trick or treat. And they don't.
No, they don't know.
They know.
I was telling Dana that the Super Bowl has a Roman numeral like 48. I'm like, let me tell you something. No fucking kids know what goddamn Roman. Can we drop it with the Roman numerals? They don't even know what numerals means. They know the word number barely.
They can't read cursive. They're not reading ancient numbering systems.
The AI is going to teach your daughter.
It's so true. They're so stupid.
They have no idea.
So excellent. Eliza, you are, I'm not reading this. Eliza, you from Dallas, but do you remember when you were there, you're too young, but my favorite club was the Dallas Improv on
Beltline.
Central and Walnut.
Oh, it moved because now it's in Addison.
Addison is one like next to a freeway.
The whole city's next to a freeway. It's Dallas, Texas. The whole city was built off a toll road.
That's so funny. That the Addison Improv, I used to call that. Okay, I played the Addison Improv, but there was a Dallas one, and the manager used to take us to the $1 Million Saloon. Dana, it wasn't a real regular like Old West saloon. Hey man,
Spellbinders in Houston. Anybody?
I'll tell you what. I think Dallas has, at least it used to have like more strip clubs per capita, and then I think Portland and probably Atlanta join the chat, but
join the chat,
join the strip chat. But Dallas has a lot of them kind of down there in that area.
In that whole area down there.
The manager would take all the comics down there and he'd give them free passes. And they'd be like, oh, this is good. Oh, wait, it's good Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Wait,
is that when you were playing there?
No, Eliza. That's just they were only allowed to go.
I'll tell you what.
I could just
the room. I could just see like any female comic working, like being like, "Oh, cool! Thanks for these strip club passes." I'm so glad. I'm so glad I can get these wings.
We had a good thing going. I remember you won't know this because you're too young, but when I worked there at the Addison Improv, this cute waitress said she dated the drummer for NXS. Now this is going way back. That's an old band.
It's very. And
we're like, you don't even know who NXS is. There's not a chance because no one anywhere but LA sees anyone famous. Just never happens.
Right.
But God, lo and behold, that god dang drummer for NXS comes in the club when I'm there. I'm like, what? And he said, this ties into you. You got, the comedians, if you want, stay a day, and on the night off, we'll all go to see Michael Jackson. And I'll get his ticket. And he took us to Michael Jackson.
Where did you? That's amazing.
Somewhere in Dallas at some big dome. I was like, oh my God, it sounds like a lie. It might be a lie. Actually, I'm going to back off a little bit.
What do you mean it might be a lie? Did you go or did you not?
No, because you reacted too big. So I was like, wait, am I lying?
Oh.
I think it's true. No, I think it's true.
I saw him live, but I met him when he was 13.
Oh yeah, you met him when you were a
busboy waiter at the Holiday Inn, bringing Michael Jackson and all the Jackson family dinner and
Fruit Loops.
Yeah,
at a Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, which was near a regional theater called the Circle Star Theater, 3,000 in the round. The Jackson 5 was playing there in '75. I was a busboy waiter, room service guy, and so I got to know him a little bit. I always brought him raw carrots. And
is that you getting to know him?
In the story,
thinks he's at the zoo.
It just makes the story better. Rather than I gave him carrots and left. Also, Little Richard, I waited on him. He answered the door naked. That's true.
What city is this?
This is San Carlos, California.
I feel unqualified to be on this because I don't have these. I don't have these storied, other than, like I don't.
You
as
ran
I'm
into
going
Dane Cook at the Beverly
would
Center.
be
Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah.
Who'd be the person you'd most want to meet right now? Like a
Michael Jackson.
famous person. Well, he like Taylor Swift. You met her? I'm just throwing it out. Okay, most famous person.
I've never met her. I guess it's I don't know. I don't think it's about like, oh, I want to meet them. It's more about like,
Who
I'd
would
love to
affect
work with them.
I see.
But I mean, I met Billy Crystal once and I cried, and he was so nice because as a comic, you know, it's not about rock stars. I mean, I think if I met Nicki Minaj, I'd be like, we have to talk. I have so many things I've always wanted to say to you, and she would tolerate me, and she'd be like, whose mom is this? But as a comedian, there are so many people. If you're lucky enough in your career, your idols become your colleagues, you know?
And that's very unique and kind of weird.
Well put.
Kind of sad.
Like
it's sad for the idol. but it's, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Anybody from, I mean, if I ever met Jim Carrey, of course, obviously I could never meet Chris Farley, but that would be impactful. Will Ferrell, I'm sure I will take a meeting with at some point and will embarrass myself.
Love Will Ferrell, yeah.
Big fan of Elizabeth Banks. I've only met her executive.
That's a good one.
I think I've chatted with her, but you know, you see like women that were on SNL, like you see these people, and then you remember that you know they're just like you. These are just normal people. But Billy Crystal, I did cry because that was incredibly meaningful.
And he was big when you were growing up. You were listening?
For me,
yeah.
Was it as him on SNL or him? In
no, because
movies?
that was. Again, I think this podcast should be called "You're Too Young to Remember This." But
you're so young, and you're going to blow away.
I'm just wondering where you intersected with Billy Crystal.
Because he was on SNL, obviously.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, he did a movie. I mean, obviously there was City Slickers.
Yeah.
But he did a movie called Mr. Saturday Night, which sometimes gets overlooked by stand-up comics as this like seminal piece of work in terms of like movies about stand-up comedy.
Right.
But we watched it a lot growing up. And now that I look back at it, you realize how much of it was true in a way that you couldn't process it as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
With no context.
He did that character in a special. I think he did a special where he played all these characters at a house somewhere or something. And I remember it standing out. He's like really in the pocket with that character. And then he did the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
What did he sound like? Was he like this or something?
No, it's just a New York Jew. Just like a New York, like shticky.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
King of the Jungle. How about Queen? Or King of the I think it was a Davy Crockett joke. It wasn't it wasn't the jungle. It was King of the Wild Frontier.
It sounds like a joke.
How about and then
bum. Yeah.
Bum. And so I don't know, but I will say, I mean, anytime you work with anyone bigger than you, you're just kind of like, oh wow, I feel bad for this person, but this is really cool that I'm here.
Where did you see him?
He was doing a town hall like for the New York Comedy Festival, and I had a show.
At the Y or something?
No, it was at Town Hall. Like it was called
Town Hall in New York.
Oh,
yeah. And I snuck back there, and I went like under the stage, like Phantom of the Opera style, and I was like, I bet he'll be here, and he was. No security because it's
John Hinckley style, more like.
I did it. Yeah.
And so you see him and you go up and and he's nice to you. That's great.
Somehow I always let people know, like, I'm a comedian. Just so you know, like, I'm not a weirdo. Like, I'm like, I do what you do. We're the exact same. Can I get a picture?
Which means I'm a weirdo.
I'm a weirdo. And I took a picture.
Equals I'm a weirdo.
Well, there's also that thing with comics. Someone is a comic and you're like, are you? Or is this something you like think about doing? But I do think it is a nice thing, like, to level the playing field. When a comic comes up to me, they're like, hey, I do comedy too. It's a nice way of being like, hey, like, I mean you no harm yet.
Right. It kind of like you're on the same club. Like anytime you go in the backstage comedy store, you walk in a club on the road, or you do a guest spot and you see comics, it's all like equal. Everyone's like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like you could at least introduce yourself or say hi. I mean, but I always feel bad when like a comic is like, I couldn't get in. I'm like, if you're a comic, you can come in. You can always come in for free. I don't want people to think that and then you just say it, but you're allowed into these spaces to just hang out.
It's very interesting when you get an out of the blue compliment, because if you're just slumping around on a Sunday afternoon or something, and I think you totally forget that you're on TV, kind of, at least intellectually, and then all of a sudden some guy goes, I love you, man, and then walks away. Like, oh, thanks.
And they don't want anything too. And sometimes
that's kind of nice. They don't want anything.
The most humbling is when I'm like, because sometimes I'll say it because I know someone will be nervous because I'll pick up on the energy. I'll be like, did you want a picture? And then they say no. And I'm like, I'll just go fuck myself then. I didn't want to give you I feel so bad.
They're like, I don't want to go that far. I'm not really into it. I mean, you're fine, but let's not get off.
The wait in your VIP, this may not be relatable to a lot of people listening. The wait in your VIP line with people who paid a lot of money to meet you and have a photo. And then they'll say, I don't want a photo. I just wanted to say hi or thank you. And I'm like, okay, but you spent this is still $100. You sure you don't want a quick Snapchat? Quick something? Nope. You just want it? Okay, I respect it.
What about the people that you have
take a photo? Let's take a photo like it's my idea.
Let's take it.
That is good, but Dana, she's saying, what if you say no?
What if they go? I've never had anyone say no. I don't relate to
I've had people say, I only get 100,000 photos on my phone. I don't want to waste
say hello, bro. But I guess
backstage, let's say, Eliza, you're doing a corporate or regular backstage meet and greet, and they have a professional photographer, right?
Yeah.
So they go, this moves, boom, boom. And then you do it, and then everyone slowly pulls out their phone. After they get the real picture and goes, let's just do one on mine.
Take a selfie.
And it just stops everything. And they're like, how do I flip my phone? I'm so nervous. What's my code again?
Okay, so
what do you do?
That's your tour manager's job. We have a policy, 1 picture per group. Now, you guys all came together. You have each other's numbers. You give the phone to the tour manager and we bang them out. There's no, I don't want to see you fiddle with your LG chocolate razor.
No fiddling.
No fiddling.
No, with your sidekick.
I don't want to see it. Just have it ready.
Suzuki sidekick.
with your Kawasaki jet ski. I don't want to see you.
Why did they stop making that sidekick phone, whatever? I remember Kid Rock had one. I thought he was so goddamn cool. He'd go, and it kind of spins out. Remember those?
It was so cool. I never had one, but they looked really cool.
I never had one either. They were too cool.
I have a question about phones, and no one's ever answered this to me.
Yes, sir.
Like they make these giant, library book size phones and, all that. Could I get a second phone that was tiny that I could just talk on that has the same number?
So everyone at home knows, Dana Carvey's holding up an iPhone 6, and I don't know how he still has it.
Is that a 6?
No, it's a normal phone. It's a normal phone. He's holding up an iPod Shuffle.
Shuffles were a great idea.
People have phones that just perform a phone call duty. It doesn't have the internet. Like people are going back to that now since we're all getting
a drug dealer.
Cancer.
Well, nice if you're just around town, you could have like this really light phone with the same number and still have this when you want to go show people videos. Come on, Tim Cook. Get your ass.
Is that how badly you want to show people videos? Like Dana Carvey's just walking around like, look at this cooking video. Look at this hibachi video.
Well, what it is, this is being recorded. I go, look at this is me with Eliza. This is me with David Spade,
Yeah.
So
wait, actually, if I've seen women and they at dinner and they put down the 2 phones like stacked on each other, I'm like, hook, hooker.
Oh, that's what you. Oh, I thought you meant like you got me hook, line, and sinker.
No,
you meant
I
that
said,
they were sex workers.
That's what they think. I mean, and then I go, nope, we got a hook alert.
When
here.
I first met David, he had a burner phone. I go, what's that for?
No way.
Never mind.
Yeah, what is that, David? What's that about?
He's lying, but it's a funny fictitious scenario.
So I'm going to tell you the truth that nobody's going to cop to. Okay. Oftentimes, when you see someone with 2 phones, if they're not a drug dealer, and there are, I can think of a Kevin Gates song about having 2 phones. It's called 2 Phones. It's oftentimes just a performative flex. Like, they're like, sorry, I just get so many. I can't. I'm like, this is a microcomputer with the entire power of the world in it. And you're telling me you're so you have so much going on that the internet can't hold all of your information. Your phone book is so full that you need 2 different.
Yeah.
I think if you're a mega celebrity, like most people just won't have your number. I'm not even that famous, and most of my calls go to an assistant. So the 2 phone thing, unless you have one for work that you throw in a drawer at the end of the day, is really, and people like hold them up to be like, oh, sorry, I just have 2 of these. Like, okay, we get it.
That is a good flex. Like,
it's a flex.
I'm gonna have 3.
Performative flex is another possible special for you.
Yeah, with 3 X's.
So 6 specials. How in a pretty short, well, I guess they would spread them out, but it's a lot of specials.
It was in 1 year. It was in 1 year. We did 2 a month.
Man. How do you know when you show up what you're going to wear? Because I never know till like 10 minutes before, I guess I'll wear this shirt.
Oh, on your special, you mean?
On your special.
Yeah.
You plan it out.
To be fair, Dana, right now you look like you're in a sleeping bag.
To be fair, you didn't think anything before this.
It's an Adam Sandler puffy jacket.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Cotopaxi original. Oh, no, we can tell.
No.
No.
But you're right. That is a very funny observation.
Women know more about guys' clothes when they walk up and they size it all up, and the guys don't even know they're being analyzed. And it's like, I think this is a pretty good outfit. And they're like later going, did you see the shoes? He had this with that. They just know everything.
It's not, I mean, I used to, in one of my old specials, I have a bit about how we scan. Like we scan everything. And it's not about, because I'm not a gold digger, it's not about like, ooh, was that a nice watch? It was like, oh, are your shoes weirdly outdated to where it's like you had to make a choice between like these shoes or your electricity being on? Are you wearing like a Kenneth Cole reaction shoe, like that shows that no one's dressed you in a long time? Are you wearing workout gear, but you haven't done cardio? Are you wearing a tech vest? Are you wearing a Cotopaxi jacket? And they all inform us about are you wearing an Arctic's flannel? Like, do you have a cocaine addiction? Like there's all these things for better or for worse. But to answer your question, of course, we plan the outfit. I think I work I think the outfit is second to how precious the material is, and then the lighting and everything else. But the outfit gets planned well in advance.
I saw a clip of you. Well, you were wearing, it was kind of black, and then there was sort of, your hip flexors were exposed.
Excuse
hip flexing.
me?
Yeah, and it was kind of a cool look, I mean,
it's very cool.
Sounds
a bit I'm
revealing.
Trying to be invisible.
It is.
I have like
I'm a bit of a prude.
I have 50 black
t-shirts.
Look, I'm not gonna pretend like as a woman what you wear doesn't matter, and there's certain silhouettes I enjoy, and for this special, I just wanted to do something sexy but powerful but fun. I found the pants prior to having my last baby, so I held on to those pants for like a full year. And I was like, I'm going to get into these pants come hell or high water. And I just stared at them every day.
Do you feel like when I was trying on shit for my stupid special, like, oh, it's guys, it's like
nobody cares.
90% of the time, a t-shirt and a coat. And it's usually those jackets with no collar or whatever. So I was trying something on, but I don't usually wear coats on stage. I don't do much movements, but I don't want to have any resistance anywhere. Like, it's too tight, or you're trying to look good and you're like, I can't really do what I do, and I'll think about it. I'd rather just be loose. So that's why my excuse is I don't look that great on them. Also, I have one coming out in the future.
I didn't
know what I was going to wear.
Again, what is the title of it, David?
Did you call it your stupid special? That's what you just said. You were like, in my stupid special.
My stupid special, this garbage. I think it's called This Garbage. And I didn't decide what I was wearing because I brought two things to the special and we were backstage and I was doing them both. And I go, this. We wound up doing a combo platter because they said you have 5 minutes before you go on. So this is what I'm worried about before I go on and the crowd is there. And they're like, guys, what is he walking out in? So we just know for whatever reason. They want to know a month ahead.
They got to steam it.
They got to steam no matter what you're doing. Steam
as long as you don't have wrinkles. Look, here's the deal. In terms of men's comedy, there's Eddie Murphy Raw, and then there's whatever else the rest of you guys wear. Like it either has to be impactful and iconic, or literally no one cares.
I'm going with literally no one cares. I'm going with people go, what did he wear in the special? And they're like, oh, did he have any clothes on? We don't even remember.
That's how good the material was.
Laughed at the jokes or we don't, but we go, that means literally nothing. Why guys care? That's why I go, I don't really care. Just what do I wear all the time? People have already decided they like me or they don't. Let's just.
Well, I think it's all about what you give to your audience. And I don't think people watch you for a sartorial experience. And I think when you're a woman, people have to, like, it is about what you're wearing. Does it hug your body? Can they see your body? Are they not seeing your body? Is that deliberate? I think women get judged on these things in a good and a bad way. But for guys, it's just not the way that we think about you. Like if someone sees you, it's like, oh my God, it's David Spade. Not, oh, maybe on a Saturday night, like, did you see those leather pants? It's just not it's just not part of your brand.
And some females are like, are you a hoodie comic or do you dress up? It's almost, you know what I mean?
Well, that's because for the longest time, the audience, it took them a while to wrap their minds around the fact that a woman was speaking. But now I think, I see a lot of younger girls just going up and just everything's out and they don't think about it. And the answer is you're welcome. It's because of women like me in our generation putting in that work in those American Apparel hoodies so you could wear a belly shirt.
Hoodie comic.
I was one of them. My picture is on the improv wall next to yours, actually, and I'm in that hoodie. Very low-rise pants. Yeah, you're right next to mine. It's right when you walk in.
Eliza, do you remember when I brought you up wrong?
Yes. Do you want to tell it? Because it was a very sweet story.
You tell it.
I feel like I remember half of it.
It was in the original room at the Comedy Store. So I think I brought you up and I said your name wrong, right?
Definitely.
I said your name wrong. It's a tricky name.
To be fair, it is awful.
I think I got the first name wrong.
Yeah,
not even your last name. Yeah. So what? Oh yeah. So I felt so bad because it was very unprofessional. Even though intros are always screwy, like Bobby Lee's coming in this idiot, blah blah blah. He's my dad. It's always screwy. Mess up the credits. But I said her name wrong. I didn't know her enough to do her name wrong. And then Adam Egett was working there. So I said, can I get Eliza's email maybe? Or text?
Yeah.
Just to apologize for doing that.
It was you got it. And I got it. So for people listening, Adam Egett was the general manager of the Comedy Store. And now I think he manages Mothership in Austin. Yeah. And he texted me and he was like, Spade's going to message you. And because I think I may have said something to you. Or I didn't. But the way he said, Spade's going to talk to you, the vibe was like, hey, you did something wrong. And now Comedy Royalty is about to not only blacklist you, but you should never have gotten upset that he mispronounced. It was like Spade's going to, he didn't say reach out. Reach out is a good thing. It's like Spade's going to bring down the hammer. And I was like, okay. And you reached out and I was never going to say anything ever again because I knew it wasn't personal. And you went out of your way to say that it was a mistake and you were sorry. And I couldn't believe that someone of your stature, that David Spade was reaching down to little old me to be like, hey, sorry about that. In an industry where people are like aggressively awful to each other for fun. And I always remember that about you. And unfortunately for you, I was like, oh, cool. Now we're friends. Now I can always talk to him.
Yes. And then I said, no, I got to get it right now all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Because I can't mess it. I can't keep messing it up. One time, Dane and I went on in the original room and Bill Burr was next, but he was in the hallway bullshitting. Just like a typical night. And I got the hiccups, like I'm sure to Bill, like a girl. And I've never done this. And I hiccuped up every joke and they started laughing, but it was too much because it was like the same thing over and over. And they're stopping laughing. And after about 3 minutes, I go, hey, is Bill out there? and I go, and I hear, what? And I go, can you come up now? I have to get off. And he's like, you got the fucking hiccups? And then I was like, oh, this is the worst guy to go after me.
Yeah,
because
that's
now his
10 minutes
first 5 minutes was like, this fucking pussy. So that was funny. But that was another OR story. Similar. He didn't apologize ever.
No. But just know that if you're watching a show and comics give each other shit like that, it's because they're friends. I don't think I've ever really seen a comic like fuck up and then the next comic gets mad about it. Like it's never, I've brought up comics I don't even like and I've never given them a bad intro. I've never been like, this next guy tried to sexually harass me over the phone and now I'm famous and he's not. Please welcome. Like I would never do that.
I think all you did, now I'm thinking about it, when I walked up and said your name wrong, you took the mic and you go, it's Eliza. And then you just went on and did, but you weren't scolding me. You just said it right for the audience to know. And then I was like shot leaving the stage like Platoon. I was like, oh.
And because I deigned to softly correct it. And then Adam's like, Spade's going to talk to you. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. He's going to get mad that I knew my own name. And you were so nice.
There's a rumor you softly corrected someone. And you're like, I think I did. He's like, what the fuck?
You owe David Spade an apology. Your name is now Eliza.
Miss Shell Singer. That's
Shell Singer.
There you go.
Miss Eliza Shell singer.
What's the most common mispronunciation, or is there one?
What Dana just did deliberately or not? I can't tell if it's a bit.
No, I was kidding.
Okay, thank God. It's Schlesinger, Schlesinger, but I don't even correct people because it ultimately doesn't matter. Because the more painful part is having to then hear them try to correct it, and then it becomes like a linguistics lesson.
Sure.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm just trying to promote this show.
I just got this special. Yeah,
I was introduced as Dana
12.
Garney a lot. Dana Garney. This next comedian's kind of funny. Some people
Dana Garney?
It's just reading off a piece of paper. Dana, D-A-N-A, and then they just, the V became an N or something. Dana Garney, ladies and gentlemen.
Greg Fitzsimmons told me that he one time, and he's in my phone as this, got Grapefruit Simmons.
I don't mind that.
People are just uneducated, not checked in, just out to lunch, just making up words, not reading.
But Eliza, how nerve-wracking is it when they go, there's no MC, and you're up there and they go, and you go, who's next? And they're like, Bill Squankmeyer. And you're like, this next guy is so good. You don't even know who they are. You've never even heard of them.
Do you remember
you don't
when
know what to say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the art of stand-up is 99% making up a bullshit credit for the next comic who you have no real reference for.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Right? It used to just be clubs and colleges. But now if you're playing colleges as your main thing, like maybe you're not doing great. And used to be Comedy Central, which it really isn't anymore. Yeah. So now, I mean, I brought up a comic the other night and I was like, you know him from the internet. Please welcome. It was Morgan J, and who is known from the internet. It's not like you met him on Star Search. And so I thought, I just usually like, this next comic is hilarious. One of my good friends. Please welcome.
I do that. Yeah.
Anyone is next.
Yeah.
Crowd
just
doesn't
throw
know.
someone out here. All right, let's plug Eliza's thing one more time before we let her go. And I will say before I let you go, Eliza,
a different animal.
I just talked to today someone I said you were coming on, and they said, tell her Good on Paper movie is great. And that is a Netflix movie.
That's right.
That you wrote?
I wrote it. It's based on a true story, and I starred in it, and it's available for streaming 24 hours a day.
And it is
Good on paper.
It's very hard to write a movie, and you were in it.
It's even harder to make one. Turns out it takes a lot.
So hard to make a movie. Yes, so vouch for that. And the special, Dana, say the name of the special. I'll let you do it.
A Different Animal, Amazon Prime, March 11th.
We shot it in
where?
In Salt Lake City, which I knew.
That's a great place,
right? It's secretly an incredible comedy town.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think that, and they're the best. And I have to be honest with you guys, you are my first podcast I've done to promote it. So you're the first person, I guess it was Dana, that I've heard say the special out loud, because the title's been a secret.
That's cool. How big was the theater? What did you do this time? Size-wise?
It was the Eccles. So that's, I want to say 2,300. I also want to say 1,800. It's all such a blur, but we did 2 tapings at the Eccles, and it was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And the outfit was hot fire. So I'm excited for everyone to see it.
I would do one in Salt Lake. They're good crowd.
The outfit was cool. If it's the one, I think. Yeah.
I hope it is. I hope they sent you the materials. Salt Lake City is basically people, not everyone there is Mormon, but what you get is a city of like almost no crime, people who don't really drink alcohol, jacked up on sugar from soda shops, and just really looking for a good time before church. That's who's there.
That's right.
I got to play that
and
place.
They're good.
You got to. Dana, they would love you.
Dana. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Eliza. We'll talk soon. I'll see you at the store.
I'll see you tonight.
All right. Thanks for
Enjoyed
talking.
Bye, you guys. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.